Right, we're live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We're here for the first game of Saturday night of Super Rugby Pacific. This game, it's going to be a huge one. The Blues taking on the Fijian Drua for the first time ever. We're going to get to see these two sides go head-to-head, and it should be an awesome fixture. We've got Avril, Paddy, Caleb, Nov Mum, and also Robbie Hitch in the chat. I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you're all excited for this upcoming fixture between the two sides. We will be looking through the starting lineups and reserves of both of these two sides, but first of all, we will look through at how the table sits. As you can see, the Blues, they are top of the bunch, although there are two other sides that have only lost the one fixture, and that is the Brumbies and the Reds. They will both be in action for this Super Round. This game going to be played at AAMI Park, same as all the other games of Super Rugby for round 10. But as you can see, the Fijian Drua, they are sitting there of the opposite for the Blues, and they are sitting 1 win, 7 losses. So that is something that they will want to change in this fixture. Looking through at the home side, the Blues for this match, it is going to be James Lay at number 1. Then from there, it will be Ricky Riccatelli at number 2 and Nipple Lalala at 3. James Tucker and Sam Darry as the 4-5. Tom Robinson, Big Red, Adrian Cho, and Hoskins at 2-2. They will be the loose forward trio. Then it is Taufa Funaki. Slots in at 9. They are running a little bit low on their men at the moment for halfback, the Blues, which is why there is a debut coming off the bench, who we will get to in a very short moment. But this back line, it's looking extremely strong. Bowden Barrett, Roger Tuivasa Sheik, Rico Ioane, AJ Lamb, Mark Talea, and Jacob Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins, the Taranaki representative. Actually, a little bit more than just him representing Taranaki for this game by the looks of it. And also we get that, hi Hamish, says Caleb, welcome in. It's also Blues Tosso. And there as well, there's Johnny. And also we have got there, hey everyone, I'm going live in 2 hours for the next game, says Brandon. And also we have got there, let's go Tommy Fury, Tyson Fury and the Blues. And there's Chris. Currently, the Fijian Drua, they are looking fired up as always. Frank Lamani actually coming off the bench for them in this game, which is quite a big decision to make, but we will look through now at the Fijian Drua side. They are going to be as follows. Tuni gets himself his debut. Delakoto slotting in at 2, and then Manasa Saulo at 3. Chris Namimbi, and then Viliami Rarasia going to be there as the 2 locks. Then it is the captain, Derialangi at 6, Nasove at number 7, and Sharika Davita there at number 8, who is a Tasman representative in the Bunnings NPC. So it is good to see at least one Bunnings NPC player making their way onto the field here for the Fijian Drua in this matchup. Matawalu at number 9, that is instead of Frank Lamani. Then it will be Kuravoli gets a slot in at 10. Caleb Muntz at 12, whereas he has been going at fly half a couple of other times, and also a little bit of fullback throughout this season. Then Ravovo at 13, he is dangerous. Ratave out on one wing rather than Habosi, who we do not see for this game. Then it is Samu Vorre out on the other wing, and then Talia slotting in at number 15 for the Fijian Drua. But we have also got the Fijiana Super W champions. They are indeed. They ended up beating the Waratahs, which was a huge win for the Southern Go Drua Go. And they're from Asanatha in the chat. But I hope you guys are excited. Do let me know your score predictions in the chat as well. And also we've got the excellent pronunciation of the Fijiana team. You're an honorary Fijian now, says Johnny Blaze. I will take it. It's certainly not the easiest of names to be able to pronounce at times, but that's the same with anywhere. I can't even pronounce normal words now for myself. But yeah, like Argentinian names are always a struggle to get round for the start. Samoan names, Tongan names. But as you start to kind of work out the syllables, they do become a little bit more easy. But it's when we're in a match that they're going to be the big tester for us in this matchup. But for the Blues off the bench, Sawani Vakina, Carl Tunukiafi, and Marcel Renata is there as the other replacement for the front row. Then Luke Romano, Anton Segner, the youngster. I know that you're a big fan of him, Johnny, for Anton Segner, so he will be an exciting one to see. Lesate Milo Harris there at 21, Teniela Talia 22, and then Jock McKenzie is going to be there at the game wearing a Fiji shirt. It's Xavier Brown, so we have to keep an eye out for you. Whereabouts are you sitting, Xavier, compared to whereabouts you are normally at AAMI Park? And did you enjoy the first day? And which game? I assume this game's probably the bigger one of the two for yourself, if you have got the shirt on for Fiji. But looking through at the bench, it is Zuriel Togiotama there for Fiji and Drua. Then also Salvoli is there, and Koroi Duadua going to be slotting in at number 18. The Blues are warming up. They are looking ready for this matchup. Also, Nasila Sile and Jotamani there as the other replacements. Then they have actually got Nawai, and then Matathiwa, sorry, I should say, and then Frank Lamani. Going to be, do you want to know why I'm going live in there? I think you said earlier on it was to do with the other match, Brandon, more than likely. But at the moment, like they're saying, the AAMI Park crowd, they have turned up. There's a few empty seats around. Hopefully they do get filled up before the end of this day. And we have got 2 more games happening tomorrow. The Brumbies taking on the Highlanders and Crusaders taking on the Rebels. But like I mentioned before, this is the way that the table sits currently. It's interesting. They've got in the promo Hoskins Atutu, He's playing. Dalton Papali and Finley Christie both not playing in this game. So it's certainly going to be an interesting one to see how these two sides match up. Fijian Drua, they have had to make quite a few changes each and every week trying to work out the best combinations for themselves. AAMI Park is looking pretty busy at the moment. There is a road right next to the ground in Melbourne, and it does look like hopefully we will be able to get a big crowd for this matchup. But Moana Pacific and the Fijian Drua, the two new sides in the competition, they are both sitting bottom of the bunch. But the thing is, there's still plenty of time for improvements. All they need is a win here. And you're looking at the Fijian Drua. If they win this game, they go above the Highlanders. If they get a bonus point win somehow up against the Blues, they will get themselves a little bit closer to the Rebels. But this is going to be a tough game. Blues currently on a 7-match winning streak, whereas the Fijian Drua, they are currently on a 5-match losing streak. So someone's streak might end, and if one ends, the others will as well. So, yeah, it's whether or not both sides keep their streaks going or whether they lose them. And on the side, on the try line, on the right side, and as I said, Xavier, and also we've got there South Africa. It's 9 a.m. And I get Hamish, g'day, all welcome in. And I am indeed a fan of Anton Segner. I love German made everything, tools, beers, and women. And this is Johnny Blaze. How's the fridge going? What was the manufacturer of the fridge, Johnny? I remember you mentioned it a while ago, and I have a question because me and George, we were fascinated by a fridge the other week on a Super Rugby live stream, I believe it was. It could make ice balls. Like, as in spheres of ice. Can your fridge do that? And if it can, that is certainly worth it. And I hope you do have a lot of circular drinks. And also, are the Canes 9 tonight, or on tonight? I believe so. They are going to have their game. I believe that it is going to be taking place. Yeah, I believe it is going to be taking place tonight that we know of, but I'll just have a quick look and see whether or not it's changed. And Johan said, hello. I'm on my phone's account. Welcome in, mate. And what time's kickoff? It is currently 3 minutes away from kicking off for this game, although it might be a little bit later, as the games in Australia normally are just a little bit more postponed. But the best place to find out the exact time of the game between the Hurricanes and the Reds. Okay, so it still says it's tonight at 9:45. So I would assume so, because I know that someone mentioned yesterday that it was actually going to be on tomorrow, but that doesn't seem to be the case. It does look like it is going to be taking place from, the times are a little bit wrong. It says 6:05 is when it is taking place today, and then 8:45, but that would be an hour later here in New Zealand for these games. But nonetheless, the two sides about to make their way out onto the park. And hello, says CW, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. This game moments away from getting underway. Solomoni Funaki is actually the Moana Pacifica representative, but Taufa Funaki here is going to be starting at number 9 for this game. It's going to be a huge opportunity for him. The Fijian Drua, they will be fired up for this game. I'm looking forward to seeing these new guys once again get another opportunity. Fiji, they're showing off the talent that they have got and the depth that the side can offer. And once they find those winning combinations, they are going to be absolutely lethal. And also, did you see the Stormers' performance yesterday? I did not, but I believe they got a very high score, wasn't it? And also, the fridge is a Samsung thing and makes ice cubes, water, and cost heaps. My wife loves to spend large on stupid things. I was happy with one from the warehouse, says Johnny Blaze. So it makes ice cubes, just not ice spheres. I feel like you're going to need an upgrade around Christmas time, maybe, Johnny. Get one with the spheres. Now I'd have to come around. And I bet you'd just wake up at like 3 a.m. Like, don't give me a house key, because I'll be at your fridge just making ice spheres just all day, every day. That would be a fun video idea, making ice spheres for 24 hours, although the water wastage would be massive. And Tosso Drua says, Karoi, but at the moment, the Fijian Drua, they will be wearing the white for this matchup. Charika Davita, 6 games of Super Rugby tackles made. He's made 50 and also has made the 4th most tackles for Fijian Drua this season for Charika Davita. And do you know, I was making the same thumbnail. I was going to say to myself, would you make a video now for a preview? And as I says, Brandon, but at the moment, I believe anyone who hasn't already, be sure to check out the one of the Kiwi Lad Sport. And also we have got there, seeing you after some days, seeing you stream, didn't get notifications. You know why it happens, says Coding? No idea. I assume maybe either you've got your notifications maybe set to only partially notifying you, because it's probably understandable because we upload that much that it would drive you insane. I think we've uploaded about 3 videos today, and we've got about 5 more coming tomorrow. As our neighbor brother says, Johnny Glaze, that David for this one. And also, yes, Johnny Glaze, the Germans are excellent craftsmen and their women are beautiful. There's our nightclubs in Melbourne. Lift for the Fijiana fans. That's the thing. The Fijiana women's side are able to get themselves a win. Can the men follow up and get themselves a massive win against top of the table Blues. This one's going to be an absolutely brilliant encounter between the two sides. And do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will score the opening try of this match? For me, you know what? We love an underdog story. I'm going on Isi Ratave. Fijian Drua score first. And can I make it be not get off live stream again, says Brandon. I assume that's if you open another tab, although it depends on what device you're on, more than likely. But currently now in charge of this one, it is going to be the New Zealand referee and Paul Williams. Nick Berry as the assistant referee. Angus maybe in there. And then Chris Hart going to be on the TMO 100-0 to the Blues. And there's us, says Paddy Wagon. Surely you give the Fijian Drua some points. They're unpredictable. They are a brilliant side. And at the moment, Rarasia going to be fired up for this game. Viliami Rarasia, Hoskins, Satutu, another big one. And hey, I just had 11 wheat bix for dinner. And now I am 2 slices of chicken cranberry pizza. The big ones from New World, as Max. Sounds like a bit of a mixed bag, but 11 wheat bix is very impressive. I believe some of the props for the All Blacks only eat like 8 to 10. You've done well there. Blues winger for me, Hamish on the right side. So that will be, I believe, Mark Talia, if I'm not wrong there. Unless you're talking Jacob Rata, Maitavuki, Nepkins, which might have been why you put that guy on the left wing. Or on the right wing. Right wing it wasn't. Special night for Vakina and Satutu taking on the Fijians. And there's Karoi. And also, I enjoyed your video where you were drinking carbonated water with George. So funny on Kiwi Lads Extra. Please make it more vlogs like that. We have got a few more on the way. So, yeah, we've got plenty more coming up very soon. But that's going to be in the hands of the Fijian Drua. They have been able to receive this kickoff. Hopefully, my scoreboard behaves itself. And now Matawalu passing it back onto the 22. And it's going to be kicked high by Awas Kuravoli. Waiting for this one to come down. It's going to be nicely taken by Jacob Rata, Maitavuki, Nepkins. That's going to be a name that you'll hear quite a bit today. And it does take up quite a bit of time. A few syllables in that one. Kicked him behind from Bowden Barrett. That's a nice, easy one to say. And now it is in the hands of Onisi Ratave. Trying to break through the line, but it's a good low tackle on him. It was James Lay. And also, I can actually eat 12 wheat bix. I don't have it every day, though. And also, hey, David, hey, Betty, hey, Amish, hey, Johnny, my boy says, there's the welcome in, mate. Now going to be kicking it in behind. No, it doesn't quite work out. And now the Fijian Drua under a lot of pressure, only a couple meters out from the line here for Taliga. And he has well and truly just bought himself enough time to be able to get this ball possibly back for the kick for touch. But that was certainly not what the Fijian Drua would have been after. It's going to be bouncing up nicely for Ratabaitavuki Nepkins. Now across to Bowden Barrett, who looks to accelerate towards the line. Cross kick, little chip in mind for Rico Ioane, taken by Ratave, and the mark is taken by the Fijian Drua. Tell you what, this is going to be a quick-paced game. Well, looks like, yeah, the boys. And also, I was not here, sorry. And as I says Max. And also, let's see our gold medalist, Taliga, does tonight first game. Yeah, it's a huge opportunity. But the thing is, it's a massive game to bring him in for. You would have liked to think maybe they'd give him a bit of an opportunity up against someone who was a bit easier than the top of the table team. But hopefully he steps up and defend that gold medal up against, I guess you could call it, at the moment, the Blues are sitting in the gold medal position up until we see the semi-finals and quarterfinals, etc. Now thrown in by Kurt Eklund. In fact, sorry, it is Ricky Riccatelli at the back for this game for the Blues. Now trying to march their way forward. Seems like they're just slowly creeping. Back Funaki waiting for it. They've been told to use it once. Now, it's a knock on from Funaki. Little mistake. It's jumped on by Solo as well. They wouldn't have felt too great for him. And last night, I wasn't here, Hurricanes or Reds. And there, as I says, Max, so for me, Hurricanes or Reds, I'm going Hurricanes by a very thin margin. I think it's going to be extremely close. Kuravoli started at 10 before switching to 9, says Karoi. Yeah, but yeah, at the moment, they have got Kuravoli as the fly half. In fact, he was actually fly half, scrum half, probably 5 weeks ago, wasn't he? He hasn't really been there too long. What's happened to Baden Kerr is my big question. I dropped me pen. That's unfortunate. That's me writing pen as well. And it's just kind of disappeared. All I can find is a USB, which I've got too many of those as it is. There we go. We have found it back. And also, wait, I hear you say the Reds will win. No, I said the Hurricanes win by a thin margin. And also tell you, it must be buzzing to be playing in his native Fiji. And as I says, Johnny Blaze, or versus his native Fiji, and it's going to be even more awesome next week when the Fijian Drua are actually going to be playing in Suva up against the Highlanders, Chirika Navita. Now passing it. No, instead decides to take on the contact. And he was dragged down by Adrian Choate, stepping up at number 7 for this game. No Dalton Pabali for it. Now, once again, going to be a low tackle from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Nice tackle made. Now kicked him behind. It's actually going to be the captain, Deri Alangi. The ball sits up for him. Another grubber. That's beautifully done by the Fijian Drua, close to the touchline and just out there, unfortunately, for Samu Vorre, but brilliantly done by the big man, Deri Alangi. He's decided, just because I'm not wearing a number that's higher than 9 on my back doesn't mean I'm not going to be kicking this ball. And Baden was framed by his son, Wayne. And there... or it was framed by his son, Wayne. Of course, Wayne. Even if you say it so far apart, it still sounds close, doesn't it? Yeah, of course. And also, we've got the Arcane's got a man, says Tesla. And then also, not every game I see a grubber from a forward. Exactly right. And not every game you see them regather and then grubber it again. They're like, you know what? That worked. I'll just do it again. Caleb Muntz, now backline movement. Ravovo with a nice step. He's going to be dragged down by Rika Ioane and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. The midfielder of the Blues having to work hard in the early stages of this game. Now it is big Chris Namimbi. Or Minimbi, I should say. Now Salah dummy from Talia. Be dragged down. And also Holland. I didn't want to risk Geordie in the midfield versus under by Sami. And there, as well says, it was Johnny Blaze. Yeah, that's the thing. They moved him, AJ Lamb. He looks like he's going to be able to go for the runaway try possibly here. He is going to have... it will be got a volley after him. It's a foot race. They're not catching him. And it's going to be AJ Lamb scoring the first try of the match for the Blues with the runaway. 5 minutes in. And it is going to be the try. We'll go like this. AJ Lamb scores it in the 5th minute. And unfortunately, it was that interception pass that did lead to it. And also, hi, Sebastian, how's it going, brother? And there says David, but we will go like this. And we will go like this. Unfortunately, the Fijian Drua, they were looking good. Up till that point, just throwing the one interception pass available for AJ Lamb. And AJ Lamb makes the most of it, scores the first try of the match for the Blues. And now they will have themselves a nice 5-0 lead, more than likely 7, with it being a relatively easy kick. And also Sebastian in there. Says Tessa, also nice try, says Karoi. And the chat as well, like they said, right in the breadbasket of AJ Lamb. And as soon as he seemed like he was going through, it's going to be extremely hard to catch him. But the first try of the match is scored by AJ Lamb. And that will give the Blues a little bit of confidence early on. And also, we got the hello, mate. Sorry, I forgot to say hello, says David. Or says Betty to David. That one has gone over. And now the score in this game is going to be 7-0 to the Blues after the 6 minutes. Currently, AJ Lamb, 1 try tonight, 3 for 2022 so far for himself. I believe he scored that very last-minute try earlier on, doing well, brother. Slightly hungover, but we're using rugby as a cure, says Sebastian. Yeah, there's plenty of it on. That is for sure. You've got Leicester versus Harlequins a little bit later on tonight. And then also there is going to be the Sharks taking on Leinster, which should be a great game. I've got Blues by 29. And there says, no, mum, and also Blues going to run away now. Says Tesla. And the big thing for the Fijian Drua is they cannot allow the Blues to get themselves back-to-back tries, because that's what other sides have done. And the Blues have been dangerous because of it. Ricky Riccatelli now sitting about 35 metres out from his line. And it looks like Funaki's about to kick up this high one. Waiting for it. Get a Nepo Lalala, Adrian Choate, all set. And the ball is actually out the back, I believe, for that one. I'll go, Betty. Are you the Kiwi lads warrior? And there, as I says, David the Mod, nicely taken by Talia. Still going to be available on the halfway line now. Quick recycle ball for Matawalu. Big leg drive. This is going to be the big man in number 7, Nasove, for this fixture. Matawalu once again goes back to Muntz. Tried to go through, but it is going to be almost Roger Tuivasa-Sheck getting straight in there. Trying to turn that ball over. Chris Manimbi. Currently, the Fijian Drua sitting 40 metres out from the Blues line. Just backline movement after backline movement. Another little grubber in behind. That seems to be working not too bad. It sits up beautifully. Ball on the inside. And Dolakoto scores it for the Fijian Drua. They are back in it now. And Dolakoto does end up scoring the try for Fiji. Well, that didn't take too long. Right, we'll write that one in. Dolakoto. Can't even spell it, but Fijian Drua in the 7th minute now have fired back in this contest. It's that grubber. So far, they've seen so much space in behind. They've made the most of it every single time. The Fijian Drua, we've already seen 3 grubber attempts from them and 3 successful grubbers in the process. But the Fijian Drua try scorers, it's going to be Dolakoto, who does end up going over. That first try will go like this. And we will go like this in the 8th minute. The Fijian Drua score. And they are now right back in this game. And also go the boys Drua And there's Tesla. But that is, like I mentioned, the third grubber, and it seems to be working so well for him. It was good ball on the inside from Samu Vodre. Good wherewithal to be able to decide to pass that ball on the inside. Dolakoto, the fact that he was the man in support tells you how much he wanted that try. Now lining up the kick, and it's gone over very nicely for Kuravoli. And now it is 7-all between these two sides. Great start for both sides, really. 10 minutes or less than 10 minutes through, and we have already had 2 tries. How many wheat bix can everyone eat in here? If you have wheat bix, says Max, I probably don't try and eat a huge amount. Like, I don't have wheat bix that often, but if I do have them, I'll probably have 3 or 4. Nothing too crazy. But then you just put a whole heap of sugar on them, and it's pretty much worse than something with sugar in it for the cereal side of things, which is why you should only have like 3 or 4 if you are going to dump them in sugar. And now currently inside of the 22 mark, Tully has been able to rip that ball away off kickoff, and they've got another opportunity. Now backline movement, nice step from Roger to Avasashek, the explosive step of the ex-Warriors player. The Warriors playing tomorrow night. That will be, 2 nights' time up against the Melbourne Storm. Like 4 Max says the same 3 is pretty enough, or plenty enough. And there says Sebastian, but they are going to get penalised there for the Fijian Drua, not supporting the body weight. And it was the captain, Meli Derialangi. He does get penalised. Right, what do the Blues do now? Do they kick for the corner? Okay, they're going to kick for the corner. They've decided that will be worth a crack in this one, and it is only going to be a few metres out now. Straight over Derialangi. Did the knee go down? Tell you what, it wasn't too far off him being able to get that turnover, but unfortunately I think his hands might have also hit the ground, which stopped him from being able to get that one turned over. But now Ricky Riccatelli 5 metres out for the Blues, so that answered that question of what they will do off this next play. Sam Derry taking it nicely. Now trying to march forward, and they are going backwards a little bit here for the Blues. It's going to be tough to move the big Fijian 4-pack, although now they're having some effectiveness in the way that they are going forward. Funaki waiting for the ball at the back. It's still available for the Blues. I think that ball's been kind of slurped back into that breakdown because someone's decided they've got a decent crack at the line. That would be Ricky Riccatelli. Still marching forward. They've been told to use it. It's gone down there, and it's a scrum feed for the Fijian Drua. Brilliantly done by the Fijian Drua defence. And want a wheat bix eating contest, Paddy Wagon. And there's his Max, and depends if you've got the munchies or not. I'd say about 10, but I can only eat 2 at a time while they are crunchy. I hate soggy wheat bix. And there says Johnny, yeah, I feel like that's also the reasoning behind 3 or 4, because any more than that, you just got literally a sog fest, don't you? Which is not ideal, unless you do like soggy wheat bix, then maybe that is why. And Johnny, those stoner vibes, have you eaten a whole damn box? And this is Tesla. Tell you what, a whole box of wheat bix would be a meal and a half. How much fiber and like wheat is that? That'd be a lot, I think. I don't know how the body would react to having a whole box of wheat bix. And I was like, they're a bad mistake. And this is Paddy Wagon. I feel like you guys take your wheat bix eating very seriously, don't you, by the sounds of it? And now 11 minutes through. Currently, the Fijian Drua, they have got a line out, a scrum feed 5 metres out from their own line here. See what they can do. Hey, that was kind of weird, because Grant Nisbet also called it a line out and then called it a scrum. But he did it after myself. Although saying that, I heard it after, but it probably happened before if you're watching it on live rather than Sky Go. A bit of inception going on. Now, Matawalu about to feed this ball, and the Fijian Drua, they are actually 35 kgs lighter. Sogfest, holy, that sounds pretty hardcore. And it didn't sound right when I said it, and I still regret saying it. At this point, yeah, then wake up and spend the first hour of my day on the toilet seat clearing out my rear end, says Johnny. But now Matawalu about to feed this ball in. A lot of pressure there on the Fijian Drua. They've decided that they want to try and bump themselves just a little bit further forward. Ratave, that might be the turnover here for the Blues. No, just still on the side of the Fijian Drua. Kicked him behind. Kuravuli looking for touch. Doesn't find it. AJ Lamb taking it nicely. 40 metres out now. Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins got this one going for the chip and chase him behind. Someone slipping over. Now trying to go for a bit of territory down the wing. And it's a nice step bumping off the tackle. Rico Ioane. And it was Talia, the man with the quick feet, the gold medal in his pocket as well. Probably not allowed to actually have it in his pocket for the game, but he's got it on the shelf. Now they're going nicely forward. Nyasove waiting for this ball to become available, trying to make himself a bit of a nuisance at the breakdown. It was Adrian Choate. In fact, James Tucker And also, it's always having 2 gooey chocolate peanut butter Easter buns. So good. Oh, I'm also having 2 gooey chocolate peanut butter Easter buns. I have no idea what those are. But now that is going to be Mark Delia. They sound all right, though, to be fair. Mark Delia close to the touchline, getting picked off and driven out by the Drua. And now they are going to have themselves the line out. And Mark Delia does not want to share the ball. He's going, no, you're not having it for the quick throw. And also, I want to see Petty versus Max got a Weet-Bix comp. I want to get a box of Weet-Bix. I feel like that's like the worst or like the last thing that they'll want after eating like 20 Weet-Bix is, hey, here's another box, just for later. And I bet you, that's the thing. I feel like even eating like 6 Weet-Bix, I'll get sick of them and I'll just end up in the situation of not wanting them for like a full week or so. Now currently 30 metres out from the line here. The Fijian Drua once again in position. Matawalu passes it back across into the hands of Big Manimbi. Now waiting for this one. And Matawalu once again recycles quickly off to Kuravoli. Good attack and run from Caleb Muntz, but he's going to be dragged down. Roger Torvasa Sheck once again trying to work out on the breakdown. And it seems like he's really, honed his craft since his injury because he did end up giving away a couple of penalties early in the competition for his first game. Now a little chip and chase. Geez, Tom Robinson's gone through like a tracer bullet. All you could see was just a little blur of orange, and now it's going to be the line out, the scrum feed. Following also, we have got there, I'll check the box back at you, says Max, and also when it gets a lifetime supply of toilet rolls. And there says Sebastian, that's an expensive prize, isn't it? That would be worth the crack. Currently now, James Tucker and also Tom Robinson, they just flew through. It almost ended up whacking straight into the man winner wins. I saw stomach for 2 weeks, and that one's probably the most likely out of all of them. Kicks in play currently 9 made by the Drua so far, but their kicking game has actually been not too bad. That one did get charged down early, which was a bit unfortunate. Or when it gets a 2022 AB's jersey. And there as well says Max. And the one that Tesla said probably alongside it. Now the scrum, like I mentioned, 35 kgs lighter for the Fijian Drua compared to the Blues. The Blues have got some bulky boys in their team, including the likes of, Dalton Babali is not there for this game. But we're going to have to wait and see exactly how it does end up going. One moment, we'll go like this. There we go. Just making sure we were all running smoothly. Our Wi-Fi has been playing up quite badly today, but luckily now it seems to be behaving not too bad. Now it's going to be kicked down behind. Brilliant kick by the Fijian Drua. Another 50 metres made. A confession, I have bigger boobs than my wife. There's the honest opinion. Same, because I don't have a wife. Maybe. No, I don't know. And also in Paira, I went to the Royal store where all the jerseys are, says Max, and also all that KFC is why the Blues are heavier. And there says Tesla. Yeah, Dalton somehow bulked up this season as well, but he bulked up last season, so he's just bulking, but he's building like just pure muscle at the moment. Dalton Bowley, he's a dangerous individual. Luckily for Fijian Drua, he is not playing in this game. Now going to be going for the rolling more forward once again. Ricky Riccatelli available at the back now. Trying to creep just a little bit further forward for himself. Waiting for it. Still looking for it. Vakina waits. It was actually Funaki. Now Hoskins to do back to Bodamara. Nice little pop pass up to Rico Ioane. Good acceleration, but he's going to be dragged down by Ratave. Now it sits up for Funaki. Jacob Ratamoitavuki. Nipson's outside to Talia. He's been ankle tapped and out. He goes as our great commentary. Watching all the way from South Africa. Says Kat Ligo, welcome in. Hope you are doing well. And I assume you have been watching the URC because there is some exciting fixtures coming up for the URC in the near future, including Leinster versus the Sharks is going to be an absolutely awesome one that is taking place later on tonight. We are hoping to do the commentary for that game as well. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We have got there. I can't believe I eat more Weet-Bix than a forward. And there says Max. Well, I guess it just depends on the day, doesn't it, really? If you want to get through a few of them, you'd probably go all right, but just depends on how hungry you are. And here's an interesting fact. A person spends on average 140 pounds on toilet rolls a year. You don't want to be asked in 2022. You can afford Rugby 22, Cricket 22, and Rugby Challenge 4 for Christmas. There you go. So spend wisely, I guess, is the one there. And also we've got there the YouTuber Matt Stone. He could probably eat a whole box of Weet-Bix in a few minutes. No joke. And this is Tessa. He's a speed eater, isn't he? Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nipkin's taking it quite nicely there. Once again, going to be available. Now, Rico Ioane goes back to Roger Tuolasa Sheck. Nice step. A good low tackle on him by Rarasea. Taking him out at the bootlaces, the easiest way to take down a elusive stepping back. And hey, Irish, how you doing today? I hope you're enjoying the game tonight, Irish. I am indeed, mate. It has been very exciting so far. 7-all between these two sides. It's going to be the advantage now in favour of the Fijian Drua, or sorry, advantage in favour of the Blues. Now on the side, Funaki was lined up by Chirika Davita. Rika Ioane plays halfback. Now back to Ricky Riccatelli. Tuivasa-Sheck. Couple quick steps. He's nailed in the tackle by Chirika Davita. I believe he was falling into it, and they're going back for the initial knock-on. And now going for the penalty. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, as we have got plenty more content or plenty more videos coming up on that channel, including, we did actually do a preview for this match. I released it way too late, though, because I was quite late getting it done. But I think I released it at either 7 or 6:30, one of the two. Well, they want to also come on the draw. Says Naisi, and also we got that Paddy Wang. You probably eat 15 wheat bix over 2 days. And also he's a competitive eater, I think the fastest in the world. And he's a skinny chap as well. And there says Tesla. Now Bowden Barrett. We're looking for the touchline with this kick, as they are sitting about 45 metres out. So probably had someone who could kick at the distance. But instead decides to kick it for the touchline. Try and keep the Fijian Drua busy. Keep them under pressure. And see whether or not you can lead to them being able to maybe break that defensive line if you end up getting yourself a line break. Looking at Rico Ioane here. He's about 4th receiver in the back line. Remember that name. So I feel like he's going to have a decent crack here. Ricky Riccatelli throws it in, taken nicely by Sam Derry. Now offloaded back to Ricky Riccatelli. Ball on the inside off to AJ Lamb. Only a couple metres short now. In fact, they are looking to the short side. So 2 quick hands, and it's actually going to be Sam Derry who scores the try. That wasn't the one I predicted. Sam Derry scores the try very nicely in the 19th minute. He did come into the game as a lock. They didn't have Luke Romano. They didn't have Josh Goodhue. And instead, it is Sam Derry. It was nicely done. It was a good set play from the Blues, and it does lead to the try for Derry. There we go. Sam Derry scores it in the 19th minute, and now the Blues have got themselves a 12-7 lead. And also, their Blues will be on 36 points if they get a bonus point, and they're an unreal metabolism. Mans can eat 20 pounds of hot dogs in a few minutes and gain no weight at all. Jeez, that is impressive. Not just the eating the hot dogs in a few minutes, but also not putting on the weight from it. But Sam Derry, he went over, scored himself the try. He's very happy about it as well with his golden mouth guard. Perhaps that gets possibly made into real gold if he makes the All Blacks eventually. Second try in Super Rugby for Sam Derry. Mark DeLeo on his side. He would have been loving to get that ball out the back line, but just not quite the opportunity for DeLeo as of yet. He's been well shut down, though, on that wing by Onisi Ratave. Right, Bowden Barrett from the touchline. Taking his time, wants to make sure that this kick does go over, as every point in this game will be crucial. He's 1 from 1. Probability of only 46% here for Bowden Barrett from 43 metres out. Also 51 degrees for the angle. And I was like, not here yesterday, I'm sorry. Just very busy. They're live stream back at 8 p.m. And then I have to do one live stream in there, says Brandon. No worries at all. We have got plenty of live streams and also plenty of videos going up on the channel all throughout that's a great kick from Bowden Barrett. That's gone straight down the middle. And also I think it's going to be Crusaders and Blues final at AAMI Park. Says Max, that would be a pretty awesome fixture. That is for sure. Definitely if it is as close as it was between them at Orange Series Stadium, where the Blues were just able to sneak themselves that victory. Currently on a 7-match winning streak, and they're looking to continue it here. That kick, it did go over, like I mentioned, so now the score is going to be 14-7 in favour of the Blues. And also, I know, says Nanisi, although it's very early, and the good news is the Fijian Drua, it only takes one play for them to get back into the game, and that could be it, because they have just been able to retain their kickoff and now sitting on the halfway line, backline movement. Starting to open up here. Manimbi goes off to Ravovo. Looking to drive forward nicely, but he is dragged down by James Tucker. I want Drua to cause an upset tonight. And there says, I mean, if they did, it would be absolutely huge for them. Not just getting a win over the Blues, but the top of the table Blues. And this one, Talinga with a pass on the outside. Nicely taken by Dolakoto, the try scorer for the Fijian Drua, the lone try scorer in this matchup. But certainly not the last for the Drua. Now dropping the head, it is going to be Tune. Let's try and make just a couple more meters. It's gone through the hands. I've said it's gone backwards for Kuravoli, which now means it's close to the turnover. Now it's an advantage for the Fijian Drua. And more than likely, if they get the opportunity to take the penalty, they'll just quick tap it. And I was like, come on, Fiji, says Nanesi. At the moment, that will now be going back for the initial penalty in favour of the Fijian Drua. Currently, the Super Round all taking place from Melbourne. I'm more interested in the Drua being competitive despite the outcome against the first Kiwi opposition. And their says Semi Sosa and also Blues have every reason to win and maintain their no-loss records, plus top of the table. And although they have lost one game, they did actually lose their very first game up against the Hurricanes. But that is the only one that they did end up losing so far throughout the season. They've had a lot of close games. My dad is half Fijian. That's why I got to support the lads, says Tesla there. And also we've got their come on, says the Nisi, and also bragging rights too. As he made sure exactly right. Kuravoli did end up losing his feet there. Nepo Lulala was actually the man who was penalised for that one. And now the Fijian Drua from about 30 metres out are going to have themselves a line-out throw. 23 minutes into this first half as well, so still plenty of time left for both of these sides to have an impact. It's gone over the top, and Ricky Riccatelli takes it very nicely. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck has to catch that one behind him, but they're going back. Oh, I think they've said it's a forward pass. Yes, they have it. It's going to be the forward pass. Or is it? What are they deciding at this stage? The referee's going to make a decision. I initially thought he was going up for the forward pass, but maybe they've pinged him for a not straight line out here. Have they got him for the not straight? Okay, so it's not straight. Then the ball is stolen by the Blues. And then they go back. It's a forward pass from Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. But they're going back for the initial scrum feed for the Blues. That's probably quite generous that they are actually still going to have that advantage going. But line out not straight from Dola Koto. The last thing that the Fijian Drua wanted in that situation. Now Bowden Barrett. Going to be possibly waiting for this one at first receiver. And also, surely you know who I support. And then come on, says Nanisi. But yeah, very unlucky for the Fijian Drua so far. No 7+ phases for them. Whereas the territory is 70% in favour of the Blues. Pushing hard here. Funaki, the knee, or in fact the elbow down on this far side. I believe that was the youngster Mele Tuni actually getting his debut. Now I forgot Petty. And there as well says Max. Currently 25 minutes into this game. Looks like they're moving to the side a little bit. That's the thing. AAMI Park is going to get torn up from 5 games of rugby. They were going to be 6, but unfortunately missing out on that game between the Western Force and also the Moana Pacifica. And that is due to the COVID cases in the Western Force camp. So I don't know whether or not they will be playing next week, the Western Force. I'm not actually sure who they have got, but I know it won't be Moana Pacifica unless they do end up playing like a midweek game at some stage. But missed tackles so far, the Fijian Drua have actually missed less tackles than the Blues here. Funaki feeds the ball and waiting for the big push here from the Blues, who has the ball. At the moment, it is the scrum feed for the Blues. Waiting for this one. It's going to be the advantage for the front row going up. I believe that would have been man on the far side. The form of Manasa Saulo getting penalised now to Lear. Shut down. It's going to be the knock-on, but going back initially for another penalty. And MP or Moana Pacifica can't seem to catch a break here. The worst thing is, half of the times that their games have been postponed, like it hasn't even been them that's had the positive cases. Like they had an unlucky start and they've been making it up ever since. They would also Amish question for you do question time yesterday. And there's us says Brandon, we did not do question time yesterday, I don't believe. Now that one's going way downfield. It doesn't look like a huge crowd at AAMI Park. I actually expected a few more. Well, it's going right now, says Nanisi. And also evening, says Mr. JJ. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. And also we have got the Ase Ali. And the Giant Cowboys versus Titans has just kicked off. Go the mighty Gold Coast. And yeah, says Sebastian. Yeah, they'll be wanting to get themselves a win. I think they had a loss last week, didn't they, Sebastian, if we're not wrong. The Warriors also missing out on a win up against the Roosters, and now they've got to face off against a very tough opposition in the form of the Western, or sorry, not the Western, the Melbourne Storm. I don't know why yawns always start when I live stream. I can honestly say I haven't yawned all day up to this point, and also Tosa Drua. And as I says, that's the alien. Also, it's been a COVID debut season for Moana Pacifica, which sucks, even though it's a force themselves with that flu. And also, let's go Hamish in the Blues. And there says Obi, but now I'm going to be waiting for this one. Funaki, 40 metres out from the line here for the Blues. And once again, James Lay waiting for that ball. Bowden Barrett, pop pass up to Ricky Riccatelli. Tries to step around the Fijian Drua defence. It's hard to get through, though, but Menimbi makes a good tackle. Inside ball, close to forward, and they will be going back for the forward pass. Just a little bit of drifting, but now the advantage, the initial advantage. Okay. So like they're saying now, I think Justin Marshall's not too happy with the fact that the phases, they had about 6 phases since their advantage, almost went through a gap, and now they're going right back for the initial penalty advantage. And Andrew and Moana will improve over the years for sure, and I can't wait to see it. And there says Tesla, and also we're going to go Blues. And there it says Tamasali. Hopefully I said that correctly. I might have gotten that a little bit wrong, though, so I do apologise. I would have mispronounced that one. And also doing great. Cheers, says Mr. JJ. Great to hear, mate. Which game of the weekend left are you looking forward to the most? Nepalolala going off. Okay, Nepalolala. It's not an HIA. It's just a gash above the eyebrow. And also we've got their Tesla if they said that about the Warriors. And there it says Obi as well. And now it is going to be Bowden Barrett. We'll be kicking this one for the corner, but Marcel Renata will get to make his way out there a little bit earlier than anticipated. It's a bit risky for Bowden, and he's kicked it too far, and now the ball will be going the way of the Fijian Drua. And you'll say you got it right, bro. And there says, all right, I'm going to try it again a little bit smoother this time. Tamasoali'i. Hopefully that is not too bad. And also we have got there, do you want to see a shaky, lads? And there it says Brandon as well. Probably not tonight due to all the rugby that we have got on. That was just a little bit too far from Bowden Barrett. Did end up going out. And also, yes, says Nanesi there. It will be a little bit of an advantage now for the Fijian Drua. As long as they stay in this contest by halftime, only being 7 points down or maybe even less would be huge for them in this one. An epic game from the Chiefs last night. It certainly was. It was absolutely incredible to see the fight back from the Waratahs after being down to 13 men at one point in time. And also we have got there, when you eat hot food, you bring your tongue. But this was top of my mouth. And there says Benny. And the worst thing is normally it's because you can't wait to eat the food because you like to eat it and then you can't taste it the rest of the night, unfortunately. And now it is going to be out the back line. Muntz, first ball off into the hands of Kuravoli, finds the offload now to Talinga. Nice step. And the Blues trying to get straight in there. They've given away another advantage. At the moment, it's a battle with the penalties. And both sides giving away plenty. And also game of the weekend is Harlequins versus Leicester for me. How amazing that would be if we defeated them. I'm getting wood just thinking about it. And there, that's going to be a good game, isn't it? And hopefully, I don't think we're live streaming it, but I quite would like to. But it will depend on how much time I've got outside of the other one. So the red cards, only 20 minutes now. In this competition, they have been for the last little while for Super Rugby. But around the world, Six Nations is still the full length of the game. I believe the URC might be 20 minutes, but it could also not be. I think it might actually be full game for them now. And I burnt my lip once in the shape of a knife. And there it says, or when you swallow something and it is hot down inside you after you're swallowed. So it says, no, Mum, I once accidentally swallowed a whole chunk of frozen mango, which wasn't that fun. It was a large chunk as well. It wasn't like a small one. Nice ball on the inside from Kuravoli. Now Talia trying to go crossways. He might have been offside when the prop is the one who's almost able to chase down, or in fact it was Dolakoto. And it just ended up going out of touch. Some majority of their best players are already playing for New Zealand and Australia teams. And there as well for Sammy Sosa, and that's the idea since it was bound to be rough. And they're from Sammy Sosa earlier on, first started out of the South African teams in 1996. Lack of better comparison. And also Tossa Boys says, as he early there, it's just a matter of time and patience, I guess. And there as well says Tesla. One's gone over the top, and Harris has said, I love you. And there as well, appreciate you, Harris. That one's now going forward for Hoskins to do. And also what happened, says Nanisi, they went for the grubber crossways. There's going to be a penalty for the Fijian Drua. Right, Solo wants the 3 here. So this is going to be an interesting choice. For Hoskins to do. Okay, he ended up getting penalised. Okay, they're taking on the 3 points now. Let's go the Drua, says Makarita. Last 5 penalties conceded. We've actually seen 5 penalties in the last 8 minutes between these two sides. So more than likely we will see a yellow card at some stage throughout it. But now Hoskins at 2-2. He was tackled. Ben did get back up, but he didn't place the ball, which did get him in trouble. And also we have got their best commentary on YouTube to go. And there's CSK. I appreciate you, mate. And is it live anywhere else other than Sky in New Zealand and Sky Sport Pacific? And then Stan Sport? I don't believe so, unfortunately. And the worst is when you blow to cool your drink down but then gets hotter in your chest. And there says Patty. So I assume that's from like blowing the top of the liquid and then drinking too much, maybe. And also second or third session or season, both island teams will be a little better, in my opinion, says Sammy. So I agree. I think they just need a little bit more time to get used to Super Rugby. Like the Fijian Drua, for me, like they've been unlucky in a couple of their games. They've been close and Drua doing good. Although it's early days, that one has gone over for Kuravoli. And now the score will be 10 points for the Fijian Drua and 14 for the Blues. We have got their Drua doing, oh no, I read that one. And also, okay, says Nanise. And also we have got there, who's going to win Super Rugby for me? At the moment, it's probably Crusaders, Blues, or Chiefs. But there certainly could be another side that go, all right, I feel like the Reds and the Brumbies, because we haven't seen them play up against the New Zealand sides as of yet and don't really know where we're going to be sitting on the table for those two sides. It's hard to tell this early on, but I think the Crusaders will definitely be up there. The Blues, they're looking pretty good since their first game up against the Hurricanes on a 7-match win streak. And Kiwi lads, who's your team, buddy? Or who is your team, buddy, says Guy. I don't actually really have a favorite team because I'm kind of halfway in between two of the teams. Like I'm from the South Island, so Crusaders and Highlanders are the two in the same island as me. But I love watching all these sides play. I'm going for the Brumbies, says Harris. And then now nice run forward for the FIJIAN DRUA is Nosove. And then a carry. Oh, almost a knock on at the breakdown, but hanging on to it very nicely. Namimbi now passing it back across. Rarasia gets it, does a pop pass, a little bit risky. Now I believe Matawalu might have hurt himself a little bit there. And also chases Mr. J up the Blues. And there, and also we have got there when you blow the drink down to be cool enough to drink, it heats back up to its temperature. And there says Patty, and also let's go VT says Nanise. And also it's also on Sky Sports main event and Sky Sports Action in the UK. And then, oh, of course, because they actually added it very recently, didn't they, for Sky about 5 weeks ago, somewhere around there, I think it was. That's a rough pass from AJ Lamb. Oh, knees colliding hard in the middle for Rarasia and James Tucker. It worked out that both number fives were going for that one at the same time. Now Oscar Satutu finds the offload to Tuasa Sheck. Nice step on the inside. It was almost available. No, it's going to be the advantage now for the Blues. Hoskins Satutu going to the short side, finds the offload to Funaki, and they're going back for the initial penalty. Hamish is in the South Island, so he goes for any of those two teams there. And there's these heavy sides. And also, do you reckon there'll be some run it straight in the game? More than likely, yes. That's going to be the quick tap taken. And Jacob Ratamaita Vuki Nepkins 5 meters out, so they decided to go for the cross kick. Straight away, I thought they'd actually take on the 3 points, give them a bit more of a lead, but Ricky Riccatelli now sitting there, Funaki recycles it quickly. Mark Talia made a shorter line now for the Blues, and they are looking like they are going to be scoring just before the end of the first half, as long as they do not drop this ball. Now Funaki fires it flat to Rico Ioane. Just short of the line, Funaki. He snipes, gives it off to Mark Talia. I believe he was short, and now he's been held up over the line. And that is going to be possibly available for a goal line dropout for the Fijian Drua. And are we all serious about our weak picks? And there says Daniel, and also, yes, Hamish is impartial. That's all good. All callers here, or all callers are. And there says David the Mod. And also after Canes at 9:30. Who's going to watch the Canes versus Reds after, says Tesla? I am, of course, going to be up. We're going to be doing our live stream. I'm hoping to do a later live stream of Leinster versus Sharks and maybe Harlequins versus Leicester as well. We'll see how we're going, depending on the vocal cords, depending on the sleep schedule and everything else that we've got going on. If we get it all done, though, happy days. Now just waiting for this one, and it looks like Bowden Barry and his Blues this time are going to be kicking it for the corner. Interesting, because they were almost in the middle of the field. Could have gone for the scrum with the extra 35 kgs, but instead deciding that with Marcel Renata out on the field currently for Nepal Lulalu has gone off for the HIA, we are yet to see him back on the field yet. And also still wish it was a good old 5-meter scrum instead of a goal line dropout in there, says Sammy Sosa. And also not here, Hamish, for the Canes. Sorry, do forgive me. And now I'm not here. Sorry, Hamish, for the Canes. I'm sorry, do forgive me. I do indeed. Tis all good. And also go Blues, go. There's Reaper now waiting for the rolling ball here. At the back, Ricky Riccatelli. Once again, hanging on to this ball, just waiting for his perfect opportunity. I believe Rarasia's long arms coming in handy there. He's gone over the top. And I believe that one's going to be stuck in the breakdown again. Uh-oh. It might have been illegal, though. And also, we're going to Bodie a beauty. And there's Tesla. Right, Rarasia might have gotten himself in a little bit of trouble here. Okay. He's going to have a chat to the captains. This is not too good for Delia Langi and his Fijian Drua boys. Lifting a leg at the maul is what they have penalised them for there. Okay. So the last warning is it's got to stop. Look like no arms is a comment from Bowden Barrett on James Tucker. So they might end up going upstairs for it as well. And also we have got the I'm not here for games tomorrow either. And there says Max, that is all good. We've got 2 games tomorrow that are taking place. Highlanders taking on the Brumbies at 4 p.m. And then at 8 p.m. it is going to be the game between the Crusaders and the Rebels. But yeah, lifting the leg up. He was trying to keep it down. It just didn't quite work out for him. In the end, I believe it was Sam Derry's leg that he was shaking around. And also the old discipline issues plaguing the Drua again. Yeah, they need to make sure that they don't give away too many more penalties because they're already on their last warning. And we're still 35 minutes into this game. Still another 45 they are going to have to try and behave for. Going to be tricky, I would say. Currently now the Blues, Ricky Riccatelli goes into the back. So Tutu takes it off to Big Red Tom Robinson. Driving hard at the line, only a metre short. Now Roger Torvasashich joins the breakdown around the side. Ricky Riccatelli just short once again. Marcel Renata, he's gone over the top and he has scored the try for the Blues. And also we've got their 6:30, ain't it, tomorrow? Yeah, sorry, I think I said 6 tonight, but 6:30 tomorrow is going to be the game between the Blues and also the Rebels. One more. Renata, there we go. We will ride him. He's only been out on the field for a little while due to the HIA of Nepo Lalala, and it's worked out very nicely for himself. And he does end up scoring himself his first try, I believe, of 2022, but it's another try for the Blues as they continue to build. And at this matchup, but Marcel Renata, nicely done by Hoskins to do, popping the ball back off to Big Tom Robinson. Almost was able to go over himself. Then Ricky Riccatelli just short of the line, and Hurricanes versus Reds tomorrow. Yes, it is indeed. No, sorry, it's not tomorrow. Or it's today. And yeah, it is going to be taking place. Yes, you did have it right. I got it wrong for a second. Then I sense a yellow cheese coming next time the draw get pinned. And I was like, no, you said 8 Hamish. And there says Max. Yes, sorry, I got that wrong as well. I'll tell you what, I'm having a shocker at the moment. Too many games of rugby. Too excited for all of them. But Marcel Renata, now he's taken back off the field. That is due to Nepo Lalala being able to return. And question for you, Hamish, what is your favourite part of the live stream? The first thing, what you do on YouTube, if you had a one. And there, so I believe favourite part of the live stream, I would have to say, is you guys. Like, yes, it's great watching the rugby, but it's not the same if we don't have you guys here in the chat as well. Alongside that, if we're going what you do on YouTube, if you have one, first thing you do on YouTube, I assume that's for like things that we've created. I think our very first video on the channel was me, George, Daniel, and Isaac playing pool, I think it was, if I'm not wrong, which it could be, and then a few gaming videos in the very early stages are currently going to be available for the Fijian Drua. Matawalu passes it off Ratave. He's had his shorts ripped off almost. But luckily for him, they have just stayed on enough now. Manimbi or Manimbi. It's one of those orders. I believe it was the third one. Manimbi there. Now Bowden Barrett goes off to Mark Delia, who does have to kick this one downfield as he did not want to get smashed by one of the big Fijian boys. Now sitting up quite nicely for Talinga on the halfway line. Looking for the offload. Beautifully done for the Fijian Drua. Protecting that ball nicely. It was Samu Vorre. Now Matawalu off to Muntz. And currently the Blues, if they can stop the Fijian Drua from scoring another try by the end of this first half, it would be absolutely huge for them. Ball bounces out the back. Matawalu. Now off to Ravovo. Charika Davita drops the head, but he is tackled by Ricky Riccatelli. Up to 5 phases now. Going close to the ground. It was Manimbi. Oh, in fact, sorry, it was Rorasi who had to try and get that one, I believe, playing the ball on the ground almost for one of the Fijian Drua players. Now short ball from Karavoli. Now, James Tucker, I think he knocked that ball on. Yes, he did. So because of it now, they will be going back for the initial scrum feed in favour of the Fijian Drua. But currently 30 seconds left of this first half. So we currently sit 21 points to 10. It's a tricky one to try and predict for the second half because we know that the Fijian Drua love coming out firing. And that one, that is for sure. And also it's a Manimbi. I just out with pronunciation in there. So it's Manimbi or Minimbi. Manimbi. I think I say M, don't I? That might be right. Manimbi. I always, for some reason, I put Nimimbi because I'm thinking of who's Nimimbi? different sport, I think, has a Namimbi, who I am thinking of. And I was like, yep, I'm looking at the thumbnail. It was a bad. Then now look you now. And there says Brandon. Although I don't know whether or not you can actually see the thumbnail of that very first one on the channel. I think it is privated. But the snowboarding ones are probably our first videos that are actually on the channel currently. Now, it will be Matawalu. So then 14 meters out like they're saying. If the Fijian Drua can get out with either 3 or 7 for this half, will be huge for them. Currently now firing it back in Matawalu for scrum time. First receiver of Caleb Muntz tries to step. He's actually lost his footing though. And because of it, the Blues straight on it, they get the penalty. And it was Funaki was able to get the turnover. Now Bowden Barrett considered going for the quick tap. But I believe that they will more than likely look to kick this one for touch. What do they decide? It looks like, I think they're going to be taking the tap and kicking this one straight into touch here. No, they don't. They decide they want one more attack in this half. I think Bowden Barrett was looking around for his forwards, and that's something that an experienced fly half would do. Because, yes, the fly half and the backs, they'll be like, yeah, run it. Go on, give it a go. But it really is those forwards who have to try and get the ball back for you. Go to more breakdowns than they initially would have been anticipating. But now Ricky Riccatelli and ready to throw this one in. I would say this first half's going to go to 45 minutes at a bit of a guess. I think it's going to be a relatively long one. But the next game that we are covering on the channel, Hurricanes versus Reds, is going to be just around the corner. Under the bag, nicely taken by Hoskins. Aduda once again fires it back across to Funaki. Now Barrett, short ball to Rico Ioane, almost able to go straight through, and he does break the tackle out of his opposite number. Now Funaki waits for it. They've got about 7 men on this left-hand side. Sam Derry, another good carry. Resove, in fact, it was taking him down Nepololala. Now going back across. Funaki off to Ricky Riccatelli. Currently 10 meters out from the line. This would be a massive blow if the Blues were able to get themselves a try. Nice short ball off to Ratamatavuki Nepkins. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck with a step and the flick out the back. It's going to be dropped by Mark Talia though. And that is now going to be halftime in this game. And the score will be 21 points to 10. So they do survive. I was talking about the Kiwi Lads question 105. What is the best part of shows last week in the episode? That's us, Brandon. Of course, that turf has some slippery parts, as seen in the Super W final with the Drua women beating the Tars. Wait, did they also play that game here? As I guess with that game also taking place at this ground, like it's certainly going to get roughed up in a big hurry, I would think, playing about 6 games all from the same location. It's probably lucky that it wasn't going to be 7 games, or else it would have been just a little bit more damaged, I guess. But at halftime, we're going to write our quick notes here. 21 points to 10. There we go. It's currently a nice little lead for the Blues over the Fijian Drua. I love using this little pad. I just pretty much write anything on it, and then I can just click, and then it disappears. And also, we'll get there well done to the Drua men on their defence. So, yes, Sammy Sosa, yeah, they've been doing very well throughout this match, the Fijian Drua. Yes, they have had 3 tries scored against them, but other than that, they're looking pretty solid. That is for sure. And hopefully they can continue that in the second half. The one thing that both sides will have to work on is definitely the discipline, as it has been going just a little bit wrong for both of them throughout the early stages of this game. And I believe the Fijian Drua are probably on their last warning. Blues maybe about second to last warning. And yeah, the Drua women played previously before the men. And there says Sammy Sosa, because yeah, I did end up seeing them. They did very nicely for that one. The Fijian Drua woman, or the Fijiana Drua women's side, I should say, able to get themselves a massive monumental win over the Waratahs females, who don't normally lose too many games at all, which does just make it that little bit more impressive. But currently for me, looking through at the first half, for who has been the most dangerous out of the teams, I would say that Bowden Barrett's been looking pretty good. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck and Rico Ioane linking up very nicely in the midfield for the Blues. And then also in that 4-pack, you'd have to probably say Hoskins Atutu has been the best out of all of the group. Then for the Fijian Drua, I have to say Menimbi's not looking too bad alongside Rarasia, the 2 locks for the Fijian Drua. Deria Langi with a couple grubbers in behind was pretty impressive. And then Penny Matawalu, and the kicking of Kuruvoli has been decent in this game as well. And Taliga, after the shaky start, has come back and has fought well. And now, while we're waiting for the second half, be sure to subscribe to the sports channel, link in the pinned comments. And the Kiwi Lads just said, Sebastian, you heard the man. If you haven't already, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. Currently, that Kiwi Lad Sport channel is sitting on 799 subscribers. So almost ticking over to the 800, which is very close indeed. We do all our previews over on there. Be sure to check it out. We have got one coming out in about an hour's time. That will be between the Reds and the Hurricanes game that we are going to be trying to predict. And then alongside that, we did actually try and predict this game between the Blues and the FIJIAN DRUA on there. And I did end up saying that the Blues would win it by 18 as my final prediction. Yes, I would. I want to commend the Drua, although their discipline really needs to improve. And there it says David, it sure does. Unfortunately, it's gone just a little bit downhill at times throughout the season. But as soon as they get that discipline side of things, like they're going to be golden in this competition. Currently 50-50 possession with the territory, 61% in favour of the FIJIAN DRUA. Then the meters made 265 for the Blues and 131 for the FIJIAN DRUA. So actually a massive difference there. Double them in that stat, and also double when the defenders beaten. 11 defenders beaten by the Blues compared to the 5 of the FIJIAN DRUA. But the FIJIAN DRUA actually having more line breaks, I should mention as well. Well, this one, and less offloads, which is something we're not normally used to seeing for the FIJIAN DRUA. We love seeing the offloading game, as it's that unpredictability that does really help them. But I would say more than likely the fact that we haven't seen too many offloads is because of the fact that they've been grubbering and doing a few more kicks in behind. And ironically, Korovoli last played fly half back in the high school, and he doesn't seem rusty switching from 9 to 10 by the looks of things. So it might become a little bit like maybe TJ Peronata, how they slot him into 10 every once in a while if he isn't starting at 9 type thing, or if he starts at 9 and they want to keep him out there, maybe they'll make that transition. But I agree, he's looking very good at the moment for himself after not playing for too long. But currently, Bowden Barrett, they have just said that Bowden Barrett, he is actually the captain for this one due to the fact that Dalton Papali is missing. But currently for the Blues, they are on a 7-match win streak. They will be hoping their absolute best that they can continue that and make it up to the 8. But nonetheless, anyone who is new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. We're back for the game a little bit later on. That will be kicking off at 9:45 p.m. It is also from AAMI Park and will be the matchup between the Hurricanes and also the Reds. Anytime I get a chance to write something down, I just write it down on this little pad now. I feel like I keep on praising the pad too much, don't I? But I will also mention, I did say yesterday, we've got a couple of surprises coming just around the corner for the Kiwi Lads, and the first of which will be coming up on the Kiwi Lads Extras channel, not too far away. So if you do want to check that out, please do. Sebastian has got that link for that channel there as well. We did record a video for the Kiwi Lads Reacts. Unfortunately, though, George didn't click record on the screen, so there's no footage, unfortunately. And also, it's still a halfback position, same as number 8, slotting in on the flanks. And there's us, Sebastian. So, yeah, not too far out of his depth, being able to slot straight in Korovoli. He's been looking good. Rico Ioane so far, 4 carries, 21 carry meters, 1 line break, 7 tackles made. And also a nice game, Kiwi Lads, says Justin. It has been a very nice one so far. 7 all in the early stages. Then from there, a few extra tries for the Blues in the later stages in the form of AJ Lamb, Sam Derry, and Marcel Renata. Then the 1 try for the FIJIAN DRUA. It was after a couple nice runs down the wing, and it was Dolakoto was able to get himself over for the try. And also we have got there in the chat, discipline that needs or just needs improvements, since that's one Achilles heel for the Drua there. And up the Blues, let's go. Here's Hohepa there, as I say. He'll be open for a big Blues win. Do let me know your prediction for the score, Hohepa, as we are currently sitting moments away from the second half being able to make its way back out there. But I see Drew Mitchell there on the commentary side of things. It's the thing, some of these ex-players, he's not actually that much older than the likes of a Quade Cooper or anyone, is he? He might even be younger. So it's either injury normally or kind of personal circumstances that stop players from being able to play till they are right into the 30s. But we're starting to see a few more players with a bit more longevity. The likes of Sam Whitelock has been doing very nicely. And also Baden Kerr is the only one can handle the power of a prop 1 week in the face of a fullback the other. And there's Sebastian, although I don't know where he is at the moment. I think he might be injured, sadly. So I think he might have put the body a bit too much on the line, unless he's playing the role of the drinks man, maybe. I'm looking around. At the moment, I do see the Blues camp. Do they have the FIJIAN DRUA? And can I see a Baden Kerr looking around? Maybe he's medic for this week. He does kind of slot into any role that they need him to. Very versatile. Good old Baden Kerr. But currently now only, I'd say, another 2 minutes till we get into the second half of this game at AAMI Park for the super round of the competition. It's absolutely awesome to see all the games taking place from the same location, except for the game between the Western Force and also Moana. And also, I bet he's medic this week. That was weird timing, wasn't it? I feel like that was probably written as I was saying it or just beforehand as well. Oh, yeah, Sebastian, we're thinking on the same wavelength at the moment. And also 45-24 for the Blues to win, says Justin. And also the draw coach is literally trailing everyone in the squad or trialing everyone in the squad just to figure out what the first 15 is, despite being like a bunch of utilities. And there says Sammy Sosa, because that's the other side of things. They didn't get any warm-up. It was pretty much straight into the competition. You used to get like 1 or 2 warm-up games up against other Australian opposition, but other than that, you are literally in. And from there, you've got to try and work out exactly how your side are going to play in such a short time. So I'm hoping to see maybe, or not tomorrow, next year or the year after is when we'll start to see the peak of the Fijian Drua of the early stage of their Super Rugby. And they'll just keep on going. There's a random couch in the crowd currently, but that is the one that the commentators are sitting on. I think they decided to put it there as there are quite a few empty seats at AAMI Park. Unfortunately, I thought that it would be packed for this one, to be honest. I thought we'd have a lot more people in attendance than they have got. So I'd like to think maybe restrictions are the thing that's stopping it. Either that or maybe it is the case of, unfortunately, crowd's just not quite able to get enough of them there. But the next game that we are going to get to see is the Reds versus the Hurricanes. And also we have got their Blues are hot this year. They are indeed a 7-match winning streak. Currently in draw for the win. And the Fijiana ladies did the job earlier. You can pull this off, boys. See, here's Red one. Yeah, very nicely done by the Fijiana women's side. Beating the Waratahs during the regular season and then going on to beat them again in the final is just absolutely huge for them. Currently 21 points to 10. So 11 points difference. If the Fijiana side, or sorry, the Fijian Druas side can get themselves a bonus point, they would like that, of course, but they want more than that. They want the win, and if they can get it up against this Blues side, it would be absolutely massive for their Super Rugby season. I'm going to have a quick look and see how the odds are sitting currently for this matchup. Pretty sure the draw would be paying at least like $12 at this point in time. If I had to try and guess, they are paying, okay, yep, no, at least $12. They're paying $31 to win the match from now. So actually a lot more than I anticipated for that one. And also we have got there, think Reds and Brumbies will have a chance at beating the Crusaders. And there says Max, and also is Kurt Eklund on the bench. He is not. Instead, it is going to be Sawani Vakina, who will be coming off the bench in the later stages. In fact, while we are at it, while we're at halftime, I will put up the bench for you guys as well. These are the players that are coming off the bench. Marcel Renata, we have already seen him for a little bit of time, actually made the appearance to the HIA of Nepo Lalala. Came on, scored the try, and then he went straight back off because Nepo Lalala was ready to return. They've still got Frank Lamani as an option for the Fijian Drua, who I feel will be a massive key for them in this second half. But alongside that, I'm just looking through at the other options that both of these sides have got off the bench. I mean, I'd like to see Tamani. Tamani, I feel, will be able to have a decent enough chance of doing something in the second half. And same with Togia Tama in the front row alongside, or taken over from Dolakoto, I should say there as well. Aaron Smith is over. Okay, that makes sense of why he's not playing then. For this game in the next 40 minutes, we'll show what the draw is really made of to either compete or combust. And there says Sammy Sosa, and also Blues win 40-17. Blues should get a bonus point. And there says Hoihepa, and also we have got there, and at the chat, where's Caleb Clark at? He is still suspended from his knee to the face of the opposition, but I believe he's back next week for Caleb Clark. And also seen Islander team Amish, because I sure have. And there says Max, I certainly have. We have got the video that we did film, I think it was last night or the day before, but it is going to be coming out in a short moment. I do see they've got Mitch Hunt, who is going to be slotting in at fullback for the game. Marty Banks at 10. And then alongside that, they are going to be having a very good option of having Falau Fakatava start. And Blues 9 is average. It was very average, Amish, says Uncle. Although, I guess the question is, who would you have instead? Christie's out injured. Sam Knockout injured. I think their third option's also out injured. So you've only got Funaki or the guy on debut, Alasati Milo Harris, who is the other option there. So it's a little bit tricky for the Blues. Jonathan Ruru, he's in Japan. So he is no longer the option there for them. I say it's probably the best of what they've got available currently. And I don't think it's so much as they went with him because they knew he was going to be the strongest option. It was more almost the only option, really. I was in New Zealand, and there says Justin, and also we have got there, Canes could be in for a chance. Do you think says Daniel. So the Canes versus the Reds, are we talking that game or are we talking for the whole season? And go the Harris in there as well, says Justin. And also we've got that Flower can show off his skills tomorrow. Yeah, we have plenty of time to be able to do so. And then off the bench, Kane Hamilton, we haven't seen too much of in recent time. I believe they've also got James Arscott in there as the backup option. Whether or not he is needed, we will have to wait and see. Of course, there are currently 21 points to 10 in this game between the Blues and the FIJIAN DRUA. The first game of the night. The next game is taking place at 9:45 p.m. It will be the Reds, and they will be at AAMI Park, also taking on the Hurricanes. So that should be a good match, and I feel that's going to be a pretty close one. Got smacked in the face with a surprise yawn there. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, that one, because the Reds, they don't have O'Connor, they don't have Pataya. And those are two big players that you'd have to say if they had them, they'd have an extremely good chance of being able to go on to win it. The Hurricanes side of things, they are also, I guess they're missing one or two players, but not really a huge amount either for themselves, as it is just Duplessis Karefi and also Salisi Rayasi as another player that they aren't going to have for this one. But Geordie Barrett returning back to fullback for them. That's going to be the battle of Barrett, and also it will be, who they got? Jock Campbell, I believe it is. And also you need Powerade Buddy, Isotopes in there. And so says Justin, yeah, it's really weird because it just seems to be, I'm considering switching out for a new light. And I know that I always blame the light, but I can honestly say it's anytime I look too far to that side, it just seems to happen. And the lights, I mean, I can't really go without them. That's not too bad. That's a bit worse. I mean, it's slowly adjusting, but it's still not quite ideal. I do need the lights on, unfortunately, so that we're not completely in darkness. But I'm working on new light supplies, maybe a little ring light or something instead, just to be able to put up on the desk rather than having it as the big key light, I think. But currently now it is going to be both sides making their way back out onto the park. Should be a very exciting second half here between them, and still only 11 points difference. So if they do get away with a massive win here for the Blues, they will be sitting themselves right up there in first place, but bare minimum they will want the bonus point win. And they will feel that they've got the ability of being able to do so. But we do know that currently the Blues, they are going to be 2 tries ahead going into the second half. And also they are sitting top of the table going into the second half. Also, LNP Tall Glass Ice. And as I says, Justin, but now it is going to be ready to go for the second half. No Dalton Papali here for the Blues. So instead, Bowden Barrett, he is captain of this game. And it is kicked high, and it is kicked just the 10 metres. I want to say it did go. Yes, it did. So now because of it, the FIJIAN DRUA, they're going to have this ball available for them. And very nicely done. Now around the side, it is Rarasia. Looks like Tom Robertson trying to get over the top. Now Kurevoli passing it across to Menimbi. Waiting for it. It looks like a bit of a counter-ruck here from the Blues. It's a penalty to the Blues, in fact. Okay, they didn't protect the ball, is the comment from Grant Nisbet. And now from about 55 metres out, they are going to be going for the kick for touch. Currently 41 minutes through. We've still got another 39. And also we've got the every time you yawn, say hi in there, says Daniel. So I do apologise for that, mate. That one has just gone out for them, and also very close to a Drua scrum halfway. And there, as I said, 7 are very close. Okay, so Matawalu, he was going to grab that ball, but he has actually had his jersey pulled in the breakdown, which I believe is why they felt that it could have been a penalty in favour of the FIJIAN DRUA rather than the Blues. But now Ricky Riccatelli, 25 metres out from the line. And he is going to be able to go for this line-out throw. Taking his time here, Sawani Vakini will be coming off the bench. It was, of course, the Blues back muscling up. And there, as I said, Sammy Souza. Yeah, normally last 10 to 15 minutes, they really shine with the subs that they have got. Mark Talia now off to Roger Tolasashek. They got very nicely by Nosove. And now Ricky Riccatelli. He's been busy throughout this game, the ex-Hurricanes player. Now, Nepal Olali's got some strapping on the head as he did end up getting a massive gash above the eye a little bit earlier on in the game. Ricky Riccatelli, another carry now. Funaki goes short side. Rico Ioane trying to use that little bit of power that he's got It's going to be hard to muscle up with a Fijian player. It just doesn't really work. Jordan Lane, another carry. Funaki now back across to Tucker. 5 meters out. Now Oskinson, Tutu, he's going. Oh, wow, that's good defense. Good bits of defense, I should say. Picked up beautifully by Matawalu. Oh, he's been dragged down. In fact, it was Kura volley, and you'd have to argue that was late to take him down. How late are you allowed to tackle a man? Now Jacob Ratamai Tavuki Nepkins. Right, the referee has set a 4 pass, so it works out in the end for the Fijian Drua anyway. And also, we're going to go Blues. As Kurt playing tonight, he is not. He is missing for this game. Question for you. If the modern Kiwi lads are what is 53 divided by 58 at a fast win in there, says Brandon. So it's going to be less than 1. Maybe about 0.93. 0.9381. No idea. I feel like that is not it. But if it was, I would scare myself. I can't even remember what I said for the answer. So it's 53 divided by 58 equals 0.913. What did I say? 931. I was just round the wrong way for the decimals, but not too bad overall. Now currently waiting for Ratave on the short side. He's going to be dangerous when he does get the opportunity. And go Blues. And there's we've got the burgers, the chips, the rugby ball, the heart, the fire, and the happy face. They're from Justin. Now waiting 40 meters out. Yeah, for the Fijian Drua. If they score the next try, they're right back in this game. It does say halftime still on me thingy, but if I go like this and like this, that will sort it out. And it is now going to be taking place. But now it is a scrum feed here. And Ratave drives going through the tackle with Bowden Barrett. Beautiful offload run. Fovo pumps the legs, continues going. No one able to stop him. But now currently 20 meters out, it looks like there's some sort of injury in the midfield here. For them, the Blues, they've gone for the counter ruck. It's still just going to be available. Now looking short side, Talia puts the ball down, goes again. You'd have to argue it was a little knock on almost on the ground, but they're going to continue. I'm not sure who it is down. It's not Rico Ioane, I know that much. See, it was my first initial one that I thought it was. It's actually Funaki who is down currently for the Blues, so they are sitting with only the 14 men out on the field. And also, who do you think will win in the Blues or the Fijian Drua? For me, the Blues are definitely favourite, but the Fijian Drua, if they get themselves a try very soon, going to be an exciting one to see. And do you commentate other sports too? Tyson Fury fights tomorrow. He does indeed, early morning here in New Zealand. But we do cover cricket on the channel and also on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel. We do a little bit of the NRL and also a few other sports here and there on there as well. Let's be sure to check that one out. But Ratave, boom, shunts off Bowden Barrett, who looked like he took a very deep breath as he saw him charging at him. A question for you, Hamish. What is your favourite math question and your favourite part of FIFA 19? So, favourite math question. Anything that is times by a single figure. Like, because of the fact that the nice multiplying, like, it's just fun, isn't it? But other than that, favourite thing in FIFA 19 was probably the career mode, just because it's always the career mode for myself. But now Ratave, the ankle. Well, in fact, the boot getting put back on. 3 carries tonight, 18 carry meters, 1 line break, 1 offload, 3 broken tackles already for him. Now, currently, it looks like they are going to be strapping up the boot just to make sure that it does end up staying on the foot here for Ratave. He's running out of his shoes throughout the early stages of the second half, but 45 minutes gone now. This clock is going to keep on ticking over. We haven't seen a yellow card throughout this game, which I feel like I've just jinxed, but it's pretty awesome. See that we've been able to go so far without any yellow cards or red cards in a game of Super Rugby Pacific, because so many games in the past have been affected by cards. In fact, out of one of the rounds, it was 4 out of the 6 or 5 out of the 6 games had a red card in it, which was just almost weird. See all the games just follow up with card after card after card, but currently now just waiting for the scrum feed to go down on the 22 here. It will be in the favour of the Fijian Drua. Right, they've got themselves set up with 2 men directly behind the scrum. I believe they're going to the left-hand side here, the way that they are set, and they might even try and have Tarika Davida run straight over the top of Funaki just to lure in a different defender before being able to find them. But currently, right out on this wing, it is going to be Samu Vordre, who is a good option alongside Caleb Muntz. But it's that top side that's got Ratave, Ravovo, and also Kuravoli will be joining it in a very short moment, I believe. And for Tarika Davida, he does break off, but this time he goes to the left. Good low tackle from Bowden Barrett. Now they look back to the other side. This is kind of the play that I thought they would do for the other stage. But now Ratave, nice run forward, flicks it out the back to Talia. Getting close to Ivasa. Sheck has to work hard to be able to wrestle him down, but currently 15 minutes out from the line for the Fijian Drua. They were $31 underdogs at halftime. It's another advantage to the Drua. Waiting for this ball to sit up. It is going to be Matawalu now off to the hands of Rarasia. Still going forward, and also hopefully Parker versus Fury. And there says Mr. JJ Gunnery trying to swat it back for the Drua, and that is going to be another one. Going back for another penalty. And here's a mess question for AAMI. Think of a number between 1 and 10 and double it. Add 2. Take half away of your original number, and your answer is 1. Try it out. Says Daniel there. I will believe you. I believe I've seen that one before, possibly. And Johnny Blaze, of course, on the calculator upside down. That used to be the thing. And then they gave you scientific calculators, and then it just all hit the fan, didn't it? It does a question for AAMI. But what is this box? What is this box? And this 932 plus 15, but divided by 19? That's a tricky one, Brandon. I feel like you're really testing my brain here for the early stages. I can tell you it's a number. There you go, currently lining up the 3 points there for the Fijian Drua. And they'll be hoping to get it over and get themselves just a little bit further back into this game. But it's a nice, easy one for Kuravuli. I'm going to have another look at the numbers, see what they are sitting at. So it was $31 underdogs here for the Fijian Drua going into the second half. Now with this kick going over, they dropped to $26 underdogs. That's still way too high for the Drua, I believe. Oh no, now it goes down to 21. That is a little bit better. That one has gone over for Kuravuli. Nicely done. And now the score is going to make it 13 points to the Drua and 21 for the Blues. And they need this. They certainly do. And they have been able to do just that. But currently now, you'd have to say if the Fijian Drua are the next team to get any form of points on the board, it only just went over for Kuravuli. He doesn't strike them the cleanest I've ever seen them struck, but it's not too bad. And also Roger Tuivasa Sheck playing. He's been looking better in this game when he has had the ball in hand. And also he's better in the breakdown than he was last time. That's going to be the knock-on from, it was Funaki. And now the Fijian Drua, Deria Langi, the captain, finds the offload. Now back across, and a couple changes have been made for Fiji. Now Ravogo with a good carry forward. It was actually Leone and Hawaii is out there, and now it's going back for the initial knock-on. I got Wade Blanket of 6.8 kgs because autistic is supposed to help me from getting stressed. And there as well, says Max. A weighted blanket of 6.8 kgs. That's quite a heavy one. That's for sure. And also we have got there, miss you so much yesterday in question time, and make you think and make you feel happy. And there as well says Brandon. I know that if I didn't say George, he would be quite sad because he does come around quite a bit. We actually filmed the other night, me and George. We did a Rugby League Live 4 video, but we do still need to get that one edited. But we've got a couple other videos in the works currently, such as a challenge on Rugby Challenge 4, which I'm not going to say exactly what it is, but it is coming up relatively soon. Also, we have got ourselves a couple more of the Rugby Challenge play-alongs that I have done for this week and a few more previews on the Kiwi Lad Sports. So if you haven't already, be sure to check out that channel as it is currently sitting on 799. In fact, it's ticked over to 800 subscribers. We are getting closer and closer to that 1,000. So if you do want to help us out, be sure to click that link in the pinned comment. Caleb Muncie is off the field, and that is for Upper Salomi Vota. Hang on. Matai Fiwa was going to be 22 for this game, but instead now I've actually made another change, and I was in Waikini for holiday from Wednesday till Saturday. Went over the new Tasman Mission Gully or Trans Mission Gully. That's going to go on behind AJ Lamb, taking a nicely rush defense from the Fijian Drua, causing a few problems in the breakdown as well. Massive push here for the Drua, but just staying on the side of the blue. Drua will need to get a 5-pointer and not just the usual 3. And although either way, it will get them just a little bit closer. This one currently sitting the 8 points behind, although you'd have to say 3-pointers will not be enough to be able to stop them or be able to stop the Blues, really. Now, Funaki kicks it high. Oh, he's done his ankle. He has gone down. I think it's going to be over. Oh, no, he's still going for Funaki. See, I thought he'd rolled the ankle. They have got the option off the bench of the Sate Milo Harris, who might not be a terrible option a little bit later on in this game, but he is on debut, and that is a huge situation to be in when you're on debut up against the side that are right in there. The Kiwi Lad Sport is a cricket channel, and as this YouTube get a copyright, he live stream on that, exactly right. I was a man, my dad said that the transmission gully was 27 kilometres and was worth 1.2 billion in 6 years to build. Very nicely. And also, they should go fishing. We actually do want to go fishing at some stage. George does have a pond. I don't believe he's got fish in it, but we were talking about interception for Rieko Ioane. And that's going to be the try for the Blues there. Sorry to interrupt everything, but Rieko Ioane gets the intercept. And he does end up scoring the end-to-end try. That will hurt the Fijian Drua there. Rieko Ioane, he ends up scoring it in the 50th minute. And just like that, Funaki seems banged up a bit. He is indeed. He's been working hard, but it was just a wide cutout pass. I was confused for half a second at who actually got that ball, because I did actually assume that the Fijian Drua were in the blue. But, of course, the Blues are the home side for this matchup. And Rieko Ioane does end up scoring the try for the Blues to now give them just a little bit more of a lead at Fiji CSX. And also, yes, says Atama Soali'i. And then that one has gone over for the Blues in the conversion now, and they are going to be sitting a little bit more comfortably with 28 points to 13 on the pass. Was well read from the Blues. Yeah, with Rieko Ioane, you cannot afford to give any height on a pass. And it wasn't even that lobby either. Rieko Ioane just timing his run perfectly. And also come up to Tauranga, we'll sort something out. And he says, Mr. JJ, but yeah, we were going to do a video of staying on George's pond for 24 hours because he's got like a little tiny island in the middle of like a few meters. And I felt like that would be a fun video of being stuck on his island for the time. But I don't think there's any fish in his pond, which would be a little bit of a problem. We wouldn't have much food around. I think we'd have to prepare earlier. But yeah, do enjoy a bit of fishing. Every once in a while, try time. I love that guy. And there it says Brandon, but now currently it's going to be available at the back once again. And it is Nawai. It's dropped by the Fijian Drua and handling her after handling her. And also pond WTF and this is Mr. JJ. He lives on a farm. So that is why he's got a pond. I guess I should clarify there. It's not like it's not a big pond. Well, it's a decent sized pond to be fair, but it's just like it's a body of water with a little tiny island on the middle. And you're doing well though. Says Mr. Lachlan, they are indeed, and my two nations going against each other. Says Hex there, but it was just a drop ball from Manasa Solo. Currently, the Fijian Drua, they were able to win that kickoff, but it was the execution, like they are saying there, has been a bit of a problem. Ratave, has had well and truly Mark Talia covered in this one. I'm guessing you still need a boat just to reach that little island in the pond. Yeah, we probably need like a kayak or something to get us out there. Like it's probably less than a 20, 30 meter swim from the shore, but it's just very wet. If you go in there, you don't really want to be wet before you get on the island. I feel like that would just defeat the purpose. Apparently, it's not a very clean pond either. The ducks love it. And also maybe a duck shoot on a pond as well, maybe. The ducks do like to land on it, I believe, and also have done something I'm proud of, says James. What have you done, James? Do let me know. But now the ball is about to be fed in by Nawai. Nicely done. And also we've got there maybe first or May 1st. And there says Mr. JJ, but currently now the ball is going to be available once again for the Fijian Drua. They need another try, and Tarika Davita could be the man who does get it towards it. It's going to be another little opportunity for a chip and chase. It's in between three of the defenders for the Blues. Now Mark Talia has got that ball. He kicks it back down the field. He was not looking for a touch, but he might get a 50-22 if the ball bounces favourably. It's taken nicely. Now kick downfield from Kuravoli, who was taken out. Who's going to win Hurricanes game? They have won 15 of the last 17 versus their opposition, says Jack. And for me, I think this game's going to be decided within 7. It's a penalty for the Fijian Drua. That game between the Hurricanes and the Reds, that is. At least there's water fell, if no fish in the pond. And there as well, says Sammy Souza. But yeah, that's true. Or if the waters foul, at least there's no fish in the pond, I believe that is. But yeah, it's going to be, I mean, we need some sort of device to float out there. That's mistouch. And now the Blues from 5 meters out from their own line. AJ Lamb going to kick it downfield. He is mistouch with it. It's a decent kick, though, getting them back down to the halfway line. But now will be another attacking opportunity for the Fijian Drua trying to set up this back line. It is going to be the big man at number 12, or in fact 22. And it is Upper Salome Vorta. They've got another penalty advantage for not releasing there. And TikTok, I mean, people, and there, and also we've got their Drua need to get the basics and discipline right, apparently. And there says Sammy Souza, and also has a very good video rugby challenge for. Now, sitting 10 meters out from the halfway line in Blues territory. Nice tackle made by Sam Derry. They're going back. I made myself bleed and I've made myself bleed and I put my blood in a bottle. Gone and drink it. And that makes you proud, James. I mean, if you're a vampire, that's probably very impressive because vampires don't bleed, but they do the drinking of the blood. You know, it also gives that same color. Boysenberry flavoring. Sometimes it's just easier to go with the easy option, you know, out of the two. Currently, the bonus point in favor of the Blues as they are quite nice again and also missing Stephen Pettifetter's skill set and composure tonight, Hamish. And yeah, there's a bit of a shame that he's not playing. Also, Zahn Sullivan at 15 might have been a decent option. I mean, Jacob Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins, he hasn't gone terribly in this game, but yeah, there are a couple other players that possibly, like with that kicking game as well, he's just such a key asset for them. But it was a good run forward in the end by Apasolome Vota. Adrian Choate, no clear release as a goal. And also, I bet you can put a boy out there on the pond. And also, I was thinking more of a 20 kg plus kingfish. And this is Mr. JJ. Yeah, that'll be impressive, wouldn't it? I think the biggest fish I've caught is only about a 6-pound trout. And by caught, I mean I reeled it in. If Hamish was in the Blues, he would show off his skills. I mean, I show off my skills of being able to get injured extremely quickly, which I mean is similar to what Funaki has done, but he has stayed out there. Just a fair play to him. That ball has gone down now for the Fijian Drua. That is breaking off the side. You'd have to argue that was a different maul, but they are going to be 5 meters out for the line out for the Drua. Passing it short, nice little pop pass up into the hands of Koroi Dua. And if the Fijian Drua score now, they are getting themselves right back into this contest. Just waiting for it now. Bolakos to Rarasia. And he has still been busy. Goodbye. I get ready for the live stream. See you at 9:30 as well. And there it says Brown. See you later, mate. Currently now still waiting for this ball once again here for the Fijian Drua. 56.5 minutes through this game. Now backline Ratave tries to back himself. He's wrestled down by Big Tom Robinson. And also it was Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, although now they're going back for the initial penalty from about 5 meters out. And you'd have to argue this is close to a yellow card for the Blues now in this game. And like they're saying, surely the Blues are on some sort of warning. It's a double blow of the whistle. And now he is bringing over the captain, Bonan Barrett. Too many of them. And also we have got the Hamish wouldn't even last 5 minutes in a Blues jersey. And he said so himself. And there's, although it depends. Oh, no. I thought we were talking about, like, just buying one. Like, I could buy one and sit in there well and truly. But it's as soon as you have to actually play the game that I get broken in half. Like, no one would even have to hit me and I get broken in half more than likely. And 11K, congrats, just realized. And as I says, it was Max. So thank you very much, mate. Huge amount that we have been going up recently. And we have got plenty more videos to come. We're actually getting the other channels up and running very soon as well here. We've got the Kiwi Lad Sport currently going. That is a pin comment. Anyone who hasn't already, be sure to check out that channel, I should say. You can get the previews of the matches that we are doing on this channel after we have released the lineups on the Kiwi Lads. But now, going to be waiting for it. And on that one, I gave my prediction of the Blues to win this game by 18 points. At the moment, they're not sitting a mile off it. And how's Roger Tuivasa-Sheck playing? He's going not too badly for himself so far. His defense has been a lot more solid than it was in his last game. Now, short ball, Ratave. He's over. And the Blues do end up leaking the try there. Ratave scores it. He's been dangerous throughout this game. And we're going to write that one down. Ratave in the 58th minute has been able to score it. Like you're saying on the commentary, they've rolled up their sleeves for the last little while. And the Fijian Drua now being rewarded. It was a nice rolling maul. And that is the second try of the match for them. And that actually takes away the bonus point of the Blues just for now. And now they are only sitting 10 points behind once again. Now with the kick to come. And also, I just watched the highlights of this match. And also, we have got there eventually these cheese, or that cheese is bound to come out at some point. Yeah, there has been a lot of penalties. I believe 16 penalties. And also, you just said Blues what? And there it says Max as well. And also, we have got there Barrett shall shine again with more screws. But unfortunately, it was Robinson who ended up missing. Well, he didn't really miss the tackle. He just couldn't stop the big leg drive of Ratave. And the Fijian Drua, they score themselves another try in this game. Looking very good. And Ratave, that's the thing. They've got him, they've got Habosi, both playing left wing. Who's going to get that spot next week? Speaking of highlights now, I'm interested, regardless of the results, as Sammy Sosa. And also we have got there, Blue shall give a quick reply, says MH Joy. And yeah, if they can extend it a little bit more, that's going to be missing. And also we have got there, hopefully the field holds up for Warriors versus Storm Monday, Hamish. Wow, are they also playing that game here at AAMI Park? If they are, this field is going to be demolished by the end of it, though. The Blues can't win, says Mr. JJ, but Ratave, he went over. Very happy man. Now, again, also what is happening to the Blues? Says Hanley, they're having a close game here. That's the thing, though. Quite a few of their games, other than that game up against the Chiefs and any game they play up against Moana Pacifica, they do have relatively close games at times, the Blues. At the moment, a couple subs being made, and nicely taken by Derialangi, taking him out in the air. Hoskins Tutu is penalised. Momentum is shifting in this game. Karl Tuanukiafi, he is making his way out there now, and Nepololala, he is off for Marcel Renata. So really making all their changes at once here for the Blues, trying to work out exactly how they can stop this momentum. Currently for the Fijian Drua to win this game, they are paying $31. I find that quite impressive that it is that high, unless, of course, this one misses touch, which is the only thing I can think of why it would be so high. Kuravoli kicks it. It does go into touch from there as well. Very nicely done. And also the Storm will simply run over the Warriors. And there's Sammy Sosa. They more than likely will, but I believe we are actually going to be possibly live on the channel for that one on the Kiwi Lad Sports. So be sure to check that out. Like they're saying, he's probably lucky to get away with just the penalty there, Hoskins Tutu, for that one. Made the contact in the air, which could have led to something more. And also, did you see the Storm smashing the Glasgow Warriors? I did see that they did very well in that game. I didn't actually get to see it live, but I saw the score. Huge win for the Stormers. That is a shot now. Dolakoto with some nice stepping. And the back line almost intercepted. It's sitting up for Ratave, but he does have to take it on the retreat. He's got Ratamaitavuki Nepkins in front of him now. Ratave trying to break the tackle to Roger Tuasashek. Wasn't able to rip it away. And do you think Roger Tuasashek is an 80-minute man tonight? I think he's close to it because they have got, actually, no. They'll take him off for Tiniela Taleo, I feel, just because he will be the option in the centre. Now kicked him behind from Derialangi. Sits up nicely for Bowden. Barrett nailed him. Captain on captain in the ribcage. Bowden tries to go again. Doesn't quite work out for him. And I mentioned in my preview that he doesn't want to run to the big Fijians or else that will happen. Ratamaitavuki Nepkins kicks it in behind. Not quite taken cleanly by the FIJIAN DRUA in the form of Ratave. It's slippery out there at the moment. Little chip and chase. Goes straight through. Waits for it to sit up. And it does. And he's got the ball back now. Short side, Dolakoto isolating himself a little bit. Rika Ioane trying to get over the ball, unable to do so. And also, ref has been lenient so far. He has indeed. No sides have had a yellow card as of yet. Chiefs need a home game. 1/4. And there, for the quarter final, that's dropped by Derialangi. And now it's going back for the scrum. And also, we have got the Hamish. What's your gut feeling on the winning margin on the final whistle? So my initial guess for the preview was Blues by 18. But the thing is, I can see the Fijian Drua getting a lot closer. I don't know whether or not the win is round the corner for them in this game, but they're going to get close, I have a feeling. I feel like within 13 would actually be... I'm just going to have a look. So for the Blues to only win by 1-12, it's $4.20 at the moment here in New Zealand. That seems really high with the fact that the Fijian Drua are working extremely hard at this current point in time to keep themselves in the game. But Derialangi just wasn't ready for it, unfortunately. And because of it, it did lead. So Roger Tuasashek, he has just been taken off. And that is going to be for Tiniela Talea. So they have now put him at the number 12 jersey. I guess that was really interesting time there, wasn't it? And also we have got the Chiefs near home game for the quarters, says Mr. So that would mean they would have to finish top 4, wouldn't they? And then depending on who they go up against, it will be 5 to 8 type thing. And there as well. But now we have got the Roger Tuasashek needs some space, reckon. And there, yeah, it's unfortunate that he doesn't really get a huge amount of it for the Blues as of late. Rika Ioane, though, he does help set him up very nicely for it. By Hamish, says Max, we will see you later on, mate. And less than 19 minutes to go, says Hamish. You're exactly right. 18 minutes to go. 18 points for the Drua, 28 for the Blues here. Leon McDonald, he looks nervous after that massive win last week up against the Crusaders. This game is going to be a real testing point for the Blues to see where they are at compared to the Australian sides. But we always say it, the Fijian Drua do not play like an Australian side. They play like a Fijian side. And a Fijian side is about as unpredictable as they come, which is why it is extremely tough to get it worked out. But at the moment, it is going to be now The number 21, Lesate Milo Harris, just get his debut for the Blues here. So a big opportunity for him. Funaki went off the field. Toinoki Afi, Romano, Renata, Soane Vokina, Signa. I think they've almost made every single change other than Jock McKenzie is the only man that they haven't actually subbed off as of yet. Did anyone have Argentina over Fiji in the sevens? And yeah, I did not for that one, but it was absolutely incredible for the Argentine. And also, I know Muppet Alert, sorry, Amish, I just popped out. No worries at all, David. I gave them a good old sniper myself for that one. But yeah, no worries at all. Overall, that's the thing. I feel like depending on how quick the chat's going, sometimes like it's either you guys have got them within like half a second, and half the time I haven't even seen the message by the time you guys get them. I call it a snipe, and I feel like that's a very good way of describing it. Also, yeah, cowbells will help. And also, FIJIAN DRUA, Captain, welcome back in there. Currently now, it's going to be another scrum feed and just the Argies in there as well. Says Sammy Souza. But for them to win that game was huge. And for them to win it by so much was even bigger for them. But now Sila, he is on the field now. And Chris Manimbi going off. A pretty decent game, Namimbi. Him and also Rarasia have been extremely busy throughout this match for the lock-in department. Not too many lineouts happening in this game, though, I've just realised. More than likely, it has been a little bit more of a scrum game. Salavoli out there now. And that will be the replacement for Meletuni. There, Fiji has nothing to lose as underdogs. They can play crazy and spring surprises as well. And also, you've got there, Johnny nailed the Muppets. Oh, did Johnny get him? And there, well done, Johnny. Being able to smash it out of the park. That's just giving me the idea of getting a baseball bat and trying to get a spherical fridge cube or a spherical fridge piece of ice. See how far it goes. I feel like it would more than likely be I get hit with an ice cube because George, I don't know how accurate his throw would be. Only 3 scrum penalties in favour of the Blues. Now, Sawani Vakina needs this one to be straight. Ricky Riccatelli's been doing very nicely throughout the day. Luke Romano takes it now off to Milo Harris. AJ Lamb goes through. He's short and then he goes again. And I believe with momentum, he has been able to score himself his second try of the match. And AJ Lamb scores the try in the 65th. And you'd have to say that that now might be the dagger. Well, but it is nicely done. AJ Lamb, he ends up scoring it in the 65th minute. Like I mentioned, it was a nice little play off the set play of the line out. And also, Hamish, what are your thoughts on having different captains for each week, each team every week? I mean, it makes it a little bit tricky to know who is in charge, of course, of a team. But overall, I guess it just depends because a lot of the time, like definitely in nowadays, it's going to be one that's kind of becoming more and more regular. I catch almost 200 fish today. Very nicely done. And also being predominantly quick taps and scrums, very little lineouts. And as I said, Semi So's about AJ Lamb scoring his 4th try of 2022. He's got 2 tonight. It's been looking very nice for himself. But the next game that we are covering on the channel, ladies and gentlemen, will be kicking off in 1 hour and 7 minutes time. That will be the matchup between the Hurricanes and the Reds. So be sure to check out that one. And then also we will have a preview going up on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is the one up in the pinned comment. Be sure to check it out. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers currently over there. If you do want to help us, it is hugely appreciated. That one's gone over for Bowden Barrett. And now it will make the score 35-18 with a 17-point margin between these two sides. Nicely run forward. AJ Lammy's been a very powerful man throughout this matchup, that is for sure. Does get the tap on the head from his teammates, and also Rico Ioane sits on his back for a while, and also Blues get their bonus point. They do, as long as the Drua don't score again. But now Zuriel Togiatama going on the field, and that is for Misu Delakoto. And as I said to say, very disappointed with the Blues game, I mean, versus the Chiefs. And there, as I says, Mr. JJ. So Blues game versus the Chiefs. I assume you're talking from a Chiefs standpoint, being 25-0 down possibly for that game. But it was unfortunate for them. That's for sure. Tell you what, he's got up high there for the captain, for Mizulami. Oh, sorry, it wasn't Mizulami. In fact, it was actually Dirialangi. Said the wrong name there. And also 200 fish. You have a boat that carries 200 old people in there as well, says Mr. JJ. And also the Drua says Lake Show. But currently, Dirialangi, he's had a pretty good game so far for the Fijian Drua. Got a little bit of a limp going at the moment. is never ideal. Oh, no. He's actually going off the field now with that injury. So I believe with that one, they will be bringing out Joe Tamani will be the replacement. And also I'll be ringing Meth. Ringing Meth. See, I think of Meth. What is Meth? My Aunt Fishery? My Ministry of Fish? Not too sure what MAF stands for. Something to do with fish. Major Association of Fish, maybe. Now going out the back here, it's going to be bouncing on the side of the Fijian Drua currently. Like I mentioned, 17 points difference. 13 minutes left in this game. And the Fijian Drua, if they want a chance, they are going to have to get themselves a try extremely soon. Snap back across. Taken nicely by Viliami Rarasia. Now going back across. Nawai off to Churika Daveta. Bumping off the tackle of Sawane Vakina in that one. And also we've got the well done Fijian Drua, or Fijian Drua in there, says Lakeshore. Of course, the Fijiana women's side able to get themselves a monumental victory over the Waratahs in the final of the Super W a little bit earlier on tonight. 7 phases now for the Fijian Drua. Going forward, nice wide cutting out pass. Now Togi Otama, one more out to Joe Tamani, who's fresh, as he has only just made his way out onto the field. AJ Lamb does make the tackle on him. Now firing it back across. It is going to be once again in the hands of Sila. Now they are playing the advantage here for the Fijian Drua. Like they're saying, still plenty of time left. It's another advantage. Nice flick on the inside to Frank Lamani, who almost put the ball down, but they're going back for the initial penalty now in favour of, someone's going to the bin. Somebody is about to go for 10 minutes, and I believe it's going to be Carl Tunukiafi, who is going to be off. He's only just made his way out onto the field currently now, though. The Blues, they are going to have to play this one with only the 14 men for a majority of the rest of this game. My Bowden Barrett is 5 from 5. WTF is going on. And also my pound and transferred small once in the other pound. And the cheese is finally out, says Sammy Souza. It is indeed a yellow card there. I'm going to draw that. And it was Carl Tunukiafi. Carl Tunukiafi does end up getting himself yellow carded for that one. And that was in about 68 minutes through. And also we've got that draw. So annoying, lol. I mean, they just aren't giving up in this one. And Blues have made a good substitution in 9, Mila Harris. And he has been looking a lot more solid than we did see from Funaki, Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries. I see. That makes sense. So it's not Ministry of our Fish, as I was saying. But now currently, they've actually had to make a change, and that is Jordan laid back out on the field, and that is going to be Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins now off. Looks like Robinson just getting a little bit of attention here. Okay, Tom Robinson's going to be going off in yellow cards here slowly. They did indeed get one for Carl Tunukiafi. It's still a waste of an advantage if the Drua can't utilise having the extra man. Says Sammy Souza. So now it's going to be the perfect opportunity. They have decided to take off Tom Robertson, so they want to get themselves, probably a scrum penalty would be huge for them in this one. And they do have to bring on the prop and kick and chase Drua, says Lakeshore. They're only 25 metres out. Maybe not here, but they might do it a little bit later on in this game if they do get themselves that space. Okay, so the Fijian Drua here, they've gone very strategic because, wait, Chote's back on the field. You can't have a man on the field. He's going, oi, boys, I've been told to come out here. I'll just stay out here till I get told to come off the field. Right, have they got the right number of players? I think they're back to 15 here, the Blues. I think they've got 8 forwards and they've got 7 backs. They're going to, double blow the whistle. And now Ratamaitavuki Nepkins has to go off the field. They were just having a bit of a switcheroo there by the looks of it. So they've taken off Jacob Ratamaitavuki Nepkins now. And now they've got the forward back on. Right. And also, in my opinion, this is lit. And then off to the sin bin with less than 10 minutes to go. And there, fry some with Fiji gold beer. Go dry. Get the Blues. And there. That makes sense now. So pretty much they've had to make a couple changes in a row. And now It's going to be the free kick. Oh, it's a penalty to the Blues, so that works out very nicely for them. And that is going to be a missed opportunity for the FIJIAN Drua. They're very confused still on the commentary about what has just happened here. But the Blues, they have currently got a lead of 17 points, and they are going to be kicking it for their touchline. Currently got another very good opportunity of being able to go over and get themselves a possible last-minute try in this game. There's still 10 minutes left, though. And then not just that, we've got another game taking place a little bit later on tonight, and that will be the matchup between the Hurricanes and the Reds. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you do want to see our preview for that matchup, it will be over on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel, which is the pinned comment there. Nicely done by the Drua. Unfortunately, unable to get the turnover, though, just as I thought the Drua botched it. There says Sammy Souza. Now Milo Harris goes short side. So 2-2 quick hands. So Rico Ioane. Ball almost on the inside of Bowden Barrett, but he decides against it. Now Milo Harris. Ball off the outside to Marcel Renato. Good run forward from Tanialu to Leah. That ball's going to be popping around the back. Milo Harris off to Sawane Vakina. Great low tackle on him. And it looks like there is going to be a clean turnover for Joe Tamani. And now back on the short side. Nicely passed down wide. The FIJIAN drew it down the wing. Oh, it's taken. No, it's not. And it was almost done by AJ Lamb, who's just got enough of a hand on that one for Talia. And they could have been going in for the try possibly. And there was a rugby club that played with 15 people when they had a yellow card and got away with it today. And there says Petty Wagon, and also we got that tackle in heaven. And it wasn't the same player that came on, or says Mr. JJ. So the gist of the substitutions, pretty much, the best way I can describe it is as follows. So yellow card to Carl Tuinukiafi. Due to that, they decided that they would bring on a forward, James Lay, in the front row. So from there, James Lay went out there. And then Jacob Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins stepped off the field. Then from there, they decided, hang on, Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins, you can come back out because Tom Robinson's a bit hurt. He's going to come off the field. So then he comes off the field. And then from there, they send out Adrian Choate. So they're back to 15. Then from there, Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins only goes off the field because he was told that he was actually the wrong number. Oh. Well, that's going to be a tricky one. You'd have to say he's wrapped his arms. I don't think you can give this as a penalty against Sereo Togiotama here. In fact, no, it's actually Timothy Salwali. Like, there's not a lot he could do there. But yeah, pretty much that is the gist. So they had about 5 different changes, and then they worked out that it was Ratamaitavuki-Nepkins. I like they're saying the ball is met by the arm. There's a wrap. It's just unfortunate that it did end up hitting him just a little bit high, but saying that it was at shin height. His hand hits the ball. It's a comment from Mills Milimaina. So I would like to think this won't be anything serious. I think they're going to give it as a yellow, unfortunately. I don't think it should be, but they might give it as a yellow. Nothing there, guys. I like that. And Justin Marshall, he is also very much a fan of it, and also legal sub. So the initial sub was going to be legal, but then Adrian Choate back out there probably is more of the questionable one, isn't it? Okay, FIJIAN Drua have the option of a scrum or the line out. I believe, they take the line out on, so Zeril Togiotama will have to make sure that he gets this one right, as it has been one of the weaknesses of the FIJIAN Drua throughout their Super Rugby season. Goes to the front, nicely done, beautifully done for the FIJIAN Drua. Now they start to build, and also what, another yellow card? No, they did end up letting him away with it in the end, which is good. That's going to be the advantage now for the FIJIAN Drua. 9 minutes left in this game. They do need 3 tries to be able to win this game, and they have got a man advantage for a little bit more time here. Atave goes back across, nice pop pass up onto the halfway line, Anton Segner, and also Mark Dalia just next to the breakdown. Marcel Renata able to wrestle him down also there. Now Lamani sells the dummy, unable to really get that acceleration going and the space that was required. Now backline movement here for the FIJIAN Drua. Attacking line by Sam Derry and Adrian Choate. Do very nicely in 68 minutes. It is 71 now through this game. Quick tap taken by the FIJIAN Drua. Trying to break down the line. I believe Lamani was asking for a kick in behind. But he didn't receive it. Now pop pass up. This is going to be a 50-50 ball, and it might be on the side of the Blues. Although I think it's just going to be for the Fijian Drua, held up, and he gives it away of the Fijian Drua. Currently, the Drua, they're having to work extremely hard here to try and get themselves just a little bit further back into this game. They want a bonus point. And also, nope. And there says Paddy Wagon. But currently now, the crowd are cheering, which I assume more than likely it's because it's either a majority of fans from the Blues or there's someone who is pitch invading. One of the two. Sam Derry got close to getting the turnover there. Okay, so Segner and also it was James Late almost had out one of these calls. And there says Senza. Then it did end up going the way of the Fijian Drua, and also Fijian Drua blooming too late again. And there says Sammy Souza. Yeah, they've only got another 7.5 minutes to work here. Currently, the crowd, they're doing the Mexican wave. That is why there was so much noise. I've just worked it out as I showing them. I believe got a few of our subscribers actually at the ground, which is pretty awesome to see. And the next game is just around the corner. That will be the matchup between the Hurricanes and the Reds. If the Blues win this, they have an 8-match winning streak. The Reds, they will be looking to get themselves to an 8-match winning streak also. Now the Blues, short side, nice run forward from Ravovo. Believe, do they have another advantage there? Did they say no? Just still waiting for it. Now passing it back across, pop pass almost there. But instead it was Racia does decide to take the contact. Oh, it's intercepted. Rico unable to hang on to it. Now, that becomes a knock-on, I believe, and nothing more than just a knock-on. And also, we get their bonus point only if Drua manages a converted try. And there says MH Choi. And the worst thing is, it's not just a converted try. They're going to need a try and something. A converted try and something. So, they have said that it was a decent attempt of being able to catch the ball for Rico Ioane, hence why it is just called as a knock-on. He wasn't too happy with whoever that was. I think it was Otave who came in to try and get the ball back for his side. But now it is a scrum feed in favour of the Drua. Currently sitting 50 metres out from the line. As the table sits, if the Blues win this game, the way that it is sitting currently, they will move up to 36 points with 4 bonus points. Also receiving 4 bonus points. Quite a few other sides, but the Western Force, they have received 5 bonus points. Unfortunately, though, for themselves, a lot of those have been the losing bonus points that they have been able to get. Currently now the Blues sitting 35 points to 18 here. Getting ready to feed this ball in. Waiting for it now, passing it back. Ratave, good carry forward. Wrestled down in the end. I believe that was young Jock McKenzie who had to make that tackle. Now stepping through. Oh, no, it was actually Milo Harris who was able to make that good tackle. Now going short side, Ratave, he goes through, and he's trying to break through the last-ditch defence of Oscar Satutu. Brilliantly done, though. He's made 2 tackles in a row. Rico has a delicious mullet in there, says Uncle. Now, Anton Segner, man, who I don't know whether or not we'd ever see rocking a mullet. Who knows? He's been in New Zealand a little while. Maybe it does end up happening soon. Ravovo, now not quite able to get through. He tries to go again. He was held, though. And that is going back for the knock-on. And also, thanks so much for the correction. A converted try plus something more. And there's MH Choi. Currently 5 minutes left. The Blues, they are going to be just inside of their 22. He did end up, rather than placing it, he did drop it on the ground. Hence why it did become a scrum and a knock-on rather than just being able to continue playing. 75 minutes through this game. Still another 4.5 left. 3 minutes left of the yellow card here for the Blues. But anyone who is new to this channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel in the pinned comment where we do post our previews of these matches. And this one, I did predict that the Blues would be able to win it by 18 points. We're not too far off at the moment. So our next prediction will be coming out at around about, I believe it's about 9:15 p.m. that the next one will be coming out, and that will be the one for the Reds versus Hurricanes over there on the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. So be sure to check that out as well. A little bit too much movement there. He was about to blow his whistle. The front row stand up in kind of a little bit of a, I guess, mutual agreement that they were going up. But currently we do see quite a few supporters of the Reds by the looks of it there. The background, which is quite cool to see. And House Roger to his Vasa Shekto, and says Dennis, been busy throughout this game. He hasn't had a huge amount of space, though, so it is going to be a big tester for him. But he has been setting up Rico Ioane very nicely throughout this matchup. And thanks so much for the great... Oh, no, I read that one. You might. And now it is going to be the Blues. Meloy Harris will be put in this one. But if they concede the try here, the Blues, they will lose their bonus point. Quite a solid early push. It's going to be wheeling around to the side. This could be the Fijian Drua win the penalty, and it is. And now they want to take the quick tap, unable to do so in case the win by 10. See if I'm right. Sees Max Scott and also a few Hurricanes fans in the crowd. It is good to see the yellow kits there. Now kicking it for the corner. It's nicely done by Talega. And now they've got one last opportunity here for the Fijian Drua to be able to possibly get themselves over the try line for one last one in this match. And Go Blues, love to see Ioane going over again after working so hard. And also subscribes, there's Mr. JJ. So yeah, it is the red button down the bottom of the bar pretty much. And it has a button there that you are able to press, but that's going to be nicely done by the Fijian Drua. Currently trying to push and trying to push some more. It doesn't look like it's popping out though. Just tipped over the 800 mark. Other Sports Channel smashing it. Says Sebastian, we are indeed. And yeah, it is going to be very exciting to see where we go next on the Kiwi Lad Sport Channel. And also the extras we have got coming up. A few more videos very soon. Now passing across the Nawai. Now Ratave trying to run straight through. He's going straight through. Now he's close to the touchline and Bowden Barrett wrestles him out. And it is nicely done by Bowden Barrett there. And that is unlucky for the Fijian Drua. Last ditch defense from the Blues once again. 20 seconds left till they do get back to 15 men for the final moments of this game. But it is going to be the line-out throw for, I believe, yes, it is Ricky Riccatelli back out there. I believe it is Judas Ioane Vakina getting that smash to the mush a little bit earlier on. Now, a minute and a half, 90 seconds left in this first game. Then the next game that we are covering, we will be starting a live stream at 9:40 p.m. And that will be the matchup taking place between the Reds and the Hurricanes. So be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. That's not straight. And now 5 meters out, it is going to be the Fijian Drua who have got themselves another attacking opportunity here. But tell you what, Riccatelli not too happy with that one by the looks of him. And you'd have to say that the reason why is because, unfortunately, he just ended up messing that one up. It didn't go straight enough from the referee's kind of vantage point, and also Ollie Oldman in there as well, says a read. But currently now Ricky Riccatelli, he can't quite believe it. He wanted to go to the front. I believe, though, I think they go back to 15. If I'm not wrong now, and also, let's be honest, Richard, two of us, Ashik, don't want to get wrecked. Strategic. I mean, we saw Bowden Barrett, who decided to take heavy contact, and he got his ribcage rearranged from the big Fijian captain at number 6. But Carl Tuanuki back out on the field now, and Jordan Lay, or James Lay, in fact it was, sorry, who does get to sit there back out on the field. Right, Chirika DeVito off the back here could be dangerous for Fiji if they get this scrum feed right. They're waiting for it. And it's going to be a big push against the feed that time. Now Fiji, they've got this ball 20 metres out from the line. Anton Segner trying to get the turnover in the breakdown. But it is still available overall to Sashik. It's been well contained here. That is very true. Now that is the siren. If the Fijian Drua can get over the line, they will get themselves a possible cancellation of the bonus point of the Blues, which would be massive for them. Now Ricky Riccatelli, they're having to make that tackle. Marcel Renata from the wrong side. Anton Segner gets almost in the breakdown. 10 metres out now for the Fijian Drua. Can they get out of this game, knowing that they've taken 1 point away from the team that are top of the table after this one? It will remain top of the table, possibly at the end of the round, depending on whether or not they can get a last second try, says Mr. JJ there. And also we have got there, they just have heaps of soft picks. And then final whistle soon, very soon. At the moment, Sila looked like it was going to be loose. They've got another advantage for it to be knocked down now. Fijian Drua close, not able to find the offload. They're going back for the initial penalty. Hoskins Satutu has not given them the ball. He's going to get a penalty up against them here. Rico Ioane is having a bit of a chat as well. See, that for me, Hoskins Satutu holding on to that ball for a very long time. That easily could have been a yellow card. In fact, okay, player off feet. There's a player down in back play by the looks of it. And also there is a seagull there. Now going forward, Cyril Togiotama. Now Luke Romano. He's lost his footing there. Looking to the short side here for Frank Lamani. Now wide cutout pass. Going close to that touchline. Smart not to pass it across because that would have been driven into touch. But currently still going here. 82 minutes into the game now. And they do continue to drive forward here for the Fijian Drua. They do not want to give up. They're looking to the short side now. Off into the hands of the big number 18. Still available. Tackle by Adrian Choate here. And they are just putting phase after phase together. Sam Derry was a little bit too early there, and he could have almost been penalised for offside. Now it looks like they are going to be sending a heap of players off to the left-hand side. They're just trying to go through. This great defence practice for the Blues here, as they currently only sit a few metres out from the line. As the Fijian Drua still sit there. It's a bit of a counter-ruck from the Blues. They're not allowed to play that one on the ground. Brilliantly done by the Fijian Drua to keep it on their side. Now still waiting for it. Trying to go across now. Sela. Has he been held up? It's gone down there. I believe that's going to be a tackle. And now it's a penalty to the Blues. And they will be kicking this one into touch more than likely. And that will result in a win by 17 points for the Blues there for not releasing the ball. Anton Segner, the youngster, plays for Tasman, and the Bunnings EPC has worked hard there and has been able to help himself towards helping his side get themselves the bonus point. So they will take the quick tap. They will kick this ball into touch. Have we got the bonus point is the comment from Bowden Barrett here to confirm before being able to kick the ball into touch. But that will be the end score, 35 points to 18 in this game, a 17-point win by the Blues. I was 1 point off. I said 18 points in favour of the Blues. That's not too bad. They were on a good battle in there. It certainly was. And also draw on Fiji time again. Here's Sammy Souza. But that is going to be the end of this matchup, ladies and gentlemen. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, like I mentioned, be sure to check out that other channel. It is the Kiwi Lad Sport, and we will have our prediction for the upcoming game between the Reds and the Hurricanes coming very soon. And let's go Blues. Great game from the Fijian brothers. And there it says the Uso. But yeah, nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. Thank you very much for an awesome commentary as usual. And great to see the newbies measured up well against the Kiwis, says Sammy Souza. And yeah, it's just an unpredictable style with Fiji that is extremely tough story to play against. And the Blues learned that. And click like and subscribe, says M.H. Choi. Hit the man if you haven't already. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. Also, check out that Kiwi Lad Sport channel. But thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all back in about 40 minutes time for our next live stream, Hurricanes taking on the Reds. But I will see you all